Okay, let's get Skype in there.
What?
Hi. Hi. We're live.
Hello.
Hello.
Greetings. Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Weep grana, weep nidibong.
Okay, so
Excuse me.
welcome to the first
Same-
episode
same
of
here.
the Culture Clash podcast, which is our new nerd culture podcast. We're going to be talking about science. We're going to talk about comic books. We're going to talk about movies.
Science.
We're going to talk about video games, TV shows, things that generally go into the nerd spectrum.
Yes.
Yes.
All of those things.
And I'm
many.
well aware that my webcam quality is shit. I'm hoping to fix this for future weeks. Right. So we're just going to introduce everyone. Just to start off, I am LambMower. I am the host of this channel. I do streaming. And that's about what I do that's interesting. Sometimes I do music, but not often. And with us today, we have CantWearHats.
Hello. Hi, everybody. I'm here. I also do streaming and other things. And I have a new mic now, which you can't see, which I won't move because it'll make noise. But it's all good. Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear.
Yes, you are.
You're inside my
Good.
ears.
Good.
Also joining us with the clearly best webcam quality is HPBraincase.
Yeah.
Show off.
God. No.
Hi, chat. I don't know about the rest of these scrubs, but I'm here for you.
Oh, you called it
But
chat.
Right mouse button block.
Just
Contact.
listeners.
No, I'm
In the-
HPBraincase. I do some streaming as well. Many of you probably just came over from my stream. And yeah, I'm here.
You did the thing where I addressed them in real time.
Oops.
The chat's not here.
The chat's not
HP,
here.
The chat's been dead for 5 years.
What I meant to say was listeners.
Still videos
Yes.
ahead.
Welcome,
Listeners,
listeners.
I'm here for
What?
you.
What's
I'm not
a
here for the chat.
We
I don't know
will.
what a chat is.
This is stuff will improve. Anyways,
Indeed.
I tried chat once. I just didn't inhale.
and also joining us is RedNightmare7.
Yes, hello. I'm RedNightmare7. I also stream once on Sundays, and I don't really do anything interesting. These guys are far more interesting. They have far more interesting,
disagree.
funnier streams.
I disagree.
That's
I'm not sure what streams you've been watching, Red Nightmare 7. I just
not be the same one.
I just spent 4 hours flying cargo between space stations.
Yeah. And
And
Okay,
I just-
some of you are better, more entertaining.
But hey, at least I've got this webcam.
right.
There may
So-
be better sources for video games, but they don't have that webcam.
Yeah.
He's
Where are you? There,
down there.
down there.
That webcam.
He's
Him.
behind, there.
I feel like this has become a Brady Bunch skit.
Yeah.
This is also great for our listeners.
Indeed.
Yeah. Oh God, yes.
I'm sorry, listeners.
You can't see us pointing. But
You can see the visual comedy.
There is none.
No.
That's good. Just
Yeah.
You
So
don't
yeah,
wanna see the
today we have a few topics we want to talk about. But
Sight
first,
gags.
we're just gonna talk about what have we been doing the past week. Like, what have you been playing? What have you been watching? What have you been reading? So, CantWearHats.
I mean, you've seen me playing a lot of Alien Isolation on stream, which has been a lot of fun. As well as that, I've been playing a lot of Elite Dangerous,
Yeah.
grinding up to get my newer ships. As well as that, I think that's been mostly it over the past week or so. Maybe there's been some other things, but those have been my main two things I've been doing. So if you've been watching the Alien Isolation streams, you know it's been good. It's been fun. It's been one of those games that the atmosphere is way better than the gameplay. So I'm like, come on, I just want to get to the next part so I can see the cool things. But this part's bullshit. But yeah,
sounds right.
that's what I've been playing. Other stuff, watching. Well, we'll get on to something I've been watching later on.
Yeah, we
I
will.
literally.
I
will
think we'll
later.
also take a small quick and talk about Elite Dangerous because we've
Yes.
basically
Yeah.
all been playing
We'll-
that.
Most
we've
of you
been
guys
playing
have been
that.
playing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's been a thing.
Yeah.
I haven't caved yet.
Jet.
Maybe
I-
not.
Okay, it's all Remove Coin's fault.
It took
He
me,
was like,
It
He was
took me
like, no one gets left
months.
behind.
Yeah, it took me
Yeah.
months to cave.
It took me 3 days.
3 seconds.
It's
Like,
been
what game is this?
it was a
Yeah.
game I kept looking at. It was like, I kind of want to play that, but it's $50. Also, there's Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just started watching Bad News Baron stream. I was like, no, I'm getting it. No,
Yeah.
no, I'm just getting
Yeah,
it.
I also blame Bad News Baron as well.
Yeah.
It's clearly all his fault.
It's actually absolutely Bad News Baron. It took me 3 days to cave to buy the game, and then 3 seconds to cave to pay him to teach me how to stream.
Yeah,
So
because
there's that
I just mentioned the like streaming academy thing, and you were like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
Already done.
I'm in.
yeah.
Here's 50 of my American dollars.
Just take it. But yeah,
Shut up and take all my money.
that's what I've been playing. Like lots of Elite and Alien Isolation. It's been fun.
So HP, you've been playing a lot of Elite.
Yes, I have a lot of Elite.
Uh-huh.
Over the past 2 weeks, I would say 80% of my streams have been Elite. I've also been playing the Talos Principle, which I started playing Monday night, and I never expected a video game to be a Philosophy 100 class. But,
Yeah, I heard that.
boy, that game is
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah, I want to play it. It looks really cool.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
really does.
it's really good. And the puzzle mechanics aren't overbearing, and they're a lot of fun. I also I did some Kerbal Space Program last night.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Wait.
I put a pig in space. Hey, it's Jeb.
Jeb.
Jeb says hello. Woo. There we go.
If anybody wants to see a pig fly, they can check that out on my archive. And I've been playing Alien Isolation with my wife, JR.
Yes.
Wait,
Yeah.
Mike,
Yeah.
I think.
any alien.
Can
Oh.
I get some
Oh,
better
oh.
light
Oh,
on
God.
my face?
He's doing something. He's doing something.
He's changing lighting.
Didn't we have a
Ladies and
pre-show for
gentlemen.
this?
Yeah. But,
Ladies and
you know.
gentlemen, this
Don't
is
worry about
thrilling podcast action.
Okay,
As Lamb
well,
changes his lighting setup.
While Lamb changes
It's happening
lighting, I'm
live.
going to talk about Alien Isolation some more.
yeah.
I've been playing that with JR, my wife, on Sundays, and really enjoying it. I've actually seen the game played all the way through, though, so I know a lot of the stuff that's coming up, or at least like have an inkling of how it's going to work. She is going in completely blind, and I'm loving every second of it.
Oh man, that sounds like a fun time.
Yeah.
That sounds like it's.
Yeah. I'm probably going to watch a little bit of the replays of Hats and a little bit of your replays, because I probably want to play it myself at some point, so I don't want to be spoiled for too much.
One thing I will say about my replay right now is we're right up to the point before the alien really becomes a thing.
Yeah, because my playthrough is a bit further in, so you're probably better off watching HP's because his is much earlier on and more stuff has happened.
I think I've gotten to the point where Alex and Cam from Loading Ready Run were at your point, so that's the part I already know, so I can watch
Okay.
to that point in all streams. So
Cool. So I'll take over for Lamb for just a second. What have you been doing game-wise, Red Nightmare?
I've been playing I Am Bread. It came out.
Right.
Indeed.
Oh,
Yay!
nice.
It finally released. I was I think it was yesterday or the day before that. I was just opened Steam and was in the bottom of the corner. Hey, I Am Bread is 25% off. Does that mean? And yes, that was my reaction.
It's released.
No, but it's
Nice.
it's been fun. I haven't played it too far yet. I probably want to save some stuff for streaming, but it's everything I hoped it would be. It's completely wacky, probably very dark story wise, because you're a slice of bread that is trying to become toast, and usually you wreck the room you're in, and it's driving the person who lives there in slowly mad.
Yeah, you're slowly driving the homeowner insane.
Yes.
I Am Bread is probably going to make an appearance on my Friday night streams for Work Week Wind Down at some point.
Nice.
Yeah.
Definitely worth it.
Yeah, it looks
And
fun.
I've been streaming. Yeah, it's a fun game. I've also been streaming To the Moon. I don't know how many of you played that. Very,
I've not
very,
heard of that.
very good little game. It's basically a sort of story-ish thing. It's probably an interactive novel more than anything else. But you're playing two doctors who go use a machine to go into the mind of people who are at their deathbed, and they're changing their memories so they believe at their deathbed that their fondest dream has been realized during their life.
Oh,
It's the way it goes.
Interesting.
You go backwards through the person's memories, and I've played it before, and I think it's the second game that made me cry twice.
ow.
And I knew it's my favorite game all time, so I knew I was gonna stream it at some point.
What's it
Yeah,
called again?
awesome.
Sorry?
To the Moon.
To the Moon.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it. I
Yeah.
think I got it in
Yeah.
a Humble Bundle.
I-
Actually.
It's been a Humble Bundle a few times, I think.
I might have it. I think I might have it.
It's like 2 to 3 hours, and you'll be done with it. But it's definitely worth your time.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And if you want another game that'll tug on your heartstrings, Ori and the Blind Forest, actually.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
The first 10
Yeah.
minutes, especially, is a real field trip, and then there's moments throughout the whole game. So I finished that on stream a couple weeks ago. Really good.
Sounds
Yeah.
Cool.
interesting.
So that's neat.
And I've been playing one final game, City Skylines, also.
Yeah,
Well, City
I
Skylines.
really want to pick that up.
It's good. I'm not much of a city builder person, so I don't know if it's that good compared to its contemporaries, but I'm enjoying it a lot.
And, yeah, that's what really matters.
No, I have played it a tiny bit, and it's really good. Like, it's the game that SimCity 2013 was supposed to be.
Yeah, that's what I've
Or
heard.
was it SimCity 2012? We don't know.
Actually,
The-
I read
the-
it in an article that
The bad
actually,
one.
Yeah, actually, the fact that it
Oh,
was greenlit by Paradox Entertainment. There's now a niche. There's people who want it. Now's the time to do this.
There's an opening in the market.
Yep.
we had a small
smart.
hiccup there.
What happened? Are we okay?
Just a tiny hiccup.
Is everything
Are we dead?
fine? All right.
Okay.
Are we okay? Everything?
Yeah,
is fine?
everything's okay.
Stream still looks stable on.
Okay.
All right. So it's,
Like,
It was a sound hiccup mostly.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
As
so,
everyone just
um,
went quiet for a second.
Oops.
okay.
Yeah.
So we just ran through what we've all been playing, but the other thing we were going to talk about is what we've all been watching.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did Lamb? Yeah.
What?
Did Lamb go through what you were
No,
playing?
I haven't. I'm gonna go through what I've been.
Sorry, Lamb.
So we'll take that. We'll take that game. Blast.
Dangerous.
Yeah, we've been playing a lot of Elite Dangerous. We'll talk about that last because we'll probably want to talk a bit of Elite Dangerous. Otherwise, I've been Minecraft. It's been a Minecraft. I've gotten into Minecraft again.
Ooh.
Because
Yeah, because you're. Yeah.
I'm running the new Loader Ready to Run Minecraft server. So I'm getting deep into Minecraft again, and it's been fun. I'm having a good time.
Nice.
How's the server been doing? Has it been popular?
It's
hear?
been it's
Many
been actually
people?
really successful. It's prime time is like 15 players. When we're
good.
then there's James prime time, which is whenever James streaming. It's like 25 players.
Nice.
So it's been fun. I got heavily burnt out on Minecraft there for a while.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
now
I'm in a downswing on it right now.
Yeah, I don't think
I haven't touched
I'll
it
ever
since-
stream more Minecraft, but actually I might do because we want to do challenge maps at some point.
Oh, yes.
That sounds like a good.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I am in
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, I'm prepared to count me in on that.
Yeah, I want to play. I want to play the walls.
I'll come
Is
back
what
for
I want
that.
to play.
The walls. I'd like to do a CTM map with some people at some point.
Yeah, we're doing
like
doing some really
super hostile, complete the monument kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're doing some really cool, like, arena stuff on the server. That's gonna be pretty dope when it's done.
Nice.
I look forward to seeing how that turns out.
As do I.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I've been watching the full slew of Marvel shows that are all airing on TV right now. So I've been watching. I caught up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yesterday.
So behind on that.
I think I'm 4
behind.
episodes behind on it right now.
I'm
like almost a season behind. I probably
Same.
watched like 5 or 6 episodes of the second season. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm very,
It's
very far
definitely it's very noticeable that it's a show that is made for bulk viewings.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to talk about that a bit more later with the other Marvel shows, but
Yeah.
it definitely seems to like really benefit from just sitting down and like binging through like a huge chunk of it.
Yeah, exactly. But
Which,
yeah, it definitely feels like just a binge show, especially with how the show is paced.
yeah, because I've noticed this. Like, I mean, I don't know if we want to talk about this now or save it for later, but you compare it to something like Flash or Arrow on the CW, and
Yeah.
those have like bigger. I don't say bigger, but it feels much more episodic. Like this is a cliffhanger for next week to make you come back. And if you do watch it like in a row, it's going to have a lot of ups and downs and ups and downs.
Yeah.
Because it's building up hype, and then you've got to wait a week or maybe more. Like there's been several hiatuses.
Yeah.
Whereas like Shield or other stuff, you can just be like, and it'll feel right.
Yeah. I've actually been binge watching, trying to catch up on Arrow and Flash. And Flash I can do that with. It's definitely a show that stands up to binge watching.
Yeah.
Arrow is just so heavy. And I wish they would do more gags like the boxing glove arrow that they did a few episodes back.
That's why,
That's why I like Flash better.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
exactly
out of the
what
two, I
was
would
gonna
say Flash is definitely the superior show. If you're jonesing for gritty superhero and you're not watching what Lamb and Hats are going to be talking about later, Arrow is still worth the watch. Just bear in mind that it's like a lot of the shows out there right now, where if you watch 3 or 4 episodes in a row, you're going to feel emotionally drained at the end.
Yeah, it's also a lot more CWE than the Flash.
Yeah, it's got a lot more of the will they, won't they relationship kind of stuff.
Yeah, like love triangle things. If that's your thing, then that's going to be great. But if it's not, then it might make things...
Like, I stopped watching Arrow because, as you said, it gets too heavy. They keep putting too much drama into the episodes. It just becomes kind of just boring and overwhelming.
Yeah, it's like what's the thing? There's a great extra credits episode about stuff like this, like spectacle creep, where it's like now here's an even more dramatic and emotional thing, and again it's like
it's exactly what happened with
trying to stay on the peaks.
Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2, and when they had the big the nuke scene from Modern Warfare 1. That was like when that happened in Modern Warfare 1. It was like amazing, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, they just did that." And then in Modern Warfare 2, of course they have 2 nukes, because why not?
Would you say that in Modern Warfare 1 it was mind-blowing?
No.
fired.
Get out.
Thank you, everybody, for joining me on my first and last episode of the Culture Clash podcast.
So that was my general issue with Arrow. Like, I'm liking Flash a lot more because they actually make it comic booky.
Yeah.
And that's the show why we're gonna talk about. Makes me so happy because it feels they finally found a way to make
embraced the comic book.
Yeah, they embraced the comic book while still making it gritty and adult.
Yeah. Okay. I will say the last like 5 or 6 episodes of Arrow have really felt a lot more comic booky because they're getting into the Atom as a character.
Yeah. there are some issues you could take with the Atom, but we might talk about that.
I am...
And the Ra's al Ghul storyline is really... I'm liking that because it harkens back to a lot of Ra's al Ghul Batman storylines.
I like that, but at the same time, it's like Arrow has been criticized for being like your Batman with a bow and arrow, which is not like Green Arrow's character.
Nope.
And people are like, no, it's not that. It's not. And now here's a Ra's al Ghul storyline.
It's totally not Batman with bow and arrow, except for the thing where we're actually stealing plot lines directly out of Batman comics.
Yeah.
So, admittedly, if you're a huge comic fan and you can't, and that doesn't do it for you, stay away from Arrow.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
I enjoyed what I watched, but it wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah, that I would think that's the same for me. Like, I haven't stuck with it.
It's an enjoyable show.
Into Flash.
To like just sit and watch, but no, it's not for me. I want more like like the Flash.
So good.
Yeah,
Flash is so good. If you're not watching the Flash and you like comic book things, you should go and watch the Flash because
absolutely,
it's so good.
We've been tweeting a lot about it, Hats.
But the thing, you should definitely go watch my aim with today's podcast is that everyone after this podcast go get a Netflix subscription and watch Daredevil.
Release
first
the
month
beast.
is free.
First month is free.
Yeah, Daredevil.
It's
Daredevil
so good.
somehow flew under my radar until just a few days ago.
It flew under everyone's radar.
Well, I mean, its existence flew under my radar until a few days ago.
That's fair.
I think that's also the case for most people. Like, most people didn't actually realize that it was a thing that was coming out until, now when it's, happening and it's out there.
So
it's amazing.
I'll definitely be binging that at some point.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It is a show that is clearly like designed to be binged. It does have like a traditional sort of structure where it builds up to a large point at the end, but it does feel like okay, and then you immediately go and watch the next one. You're not like, oh, cliffhanger, what's going to happen next? I can just go.
It's a Netflix show. You can just push next.
Yeah, and it's designed with that in mind because it's a Netflix original series, which makes it work really well in that format.
Yeah.
And as I said,
that's one thing Netflix has been doing right.
They do superhero comic book and gritty well.
Yeah. It's they figured out how to do noir comic book superheroes and not have it be Arrow.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
That's actually my thing with Marvel in general is they don't make superhero shows and movies. They make shows and movies in genres and then apply superhero to it.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man 3 was a buddy cop movie.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's like a deliberate... did they say... I'm sure someone must have said something like that because it's very clear.
Clearly a stylistic choice they've done. It's like, well, let's write and come up with a story for a movie and then insert these superheroes in.
Yeah.
They approach it from okay, who are these people? Oh, by the way, they still happen to be superheroes.
Which is it's weird because at the same time they're not ashamed of being comic book films.
No.
Shows. Which is the polar opposite to a lot of DC stuff, not Flash, which is the exception.
Did you guys see that memo about no jokes?
No, I didn't see. What memo?
I think it's... I don't know who DC... who does the DC movies right now, but at some point they had apparently an internal memo that there shouldn't be any jokes in their movies.
Yeah, that's...
I don't know how valid that is or if that still applies.
I mean, that sounds like DC.
Yeah.
Like my big issue with DC right now is they're taking everything and putting the Batman filter on it.
Oh god, yes. Yeah.
Which is why Flash is so good because they're not doing that.
Yeah. And I found that very enjoyable just with Daredevil as well. There's not a green filter over everything.
No, there's an orange filter over everything. No,
Yeah.
It's Daredevil, isn't it? Just a black screen the whole time.
Oh dear. Some people were saying that they should
Oh.
actually make it available for blind.
Yeah, I was gonna
What's
say.
Like it does.
Has anybody tried watching that without video? Does it actually work very well on soundscape? Could that be in there?
I'm pretty sure. I don't think it does, but people are saying it's like you should. Why not have like what is it? There's a thing you can have which is like a descriptive audio track going along with it for blind people. So it basically describes what is happening. It's like a person is carrying a large sack of money or something, and then in between the dialogue, and they're saying, well, it's a show about a blind person, so why not have that? Like, more shows should have that in general, because that's a good idea for accessibility and so on. But like Daredevil specifically, it's about a blind superhero, so it's like that makes a lot of sense. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's a great idea. That would be really cool.
And another thing I'd like to praise the show for is the fight choreography. Something that Marvel has been doing really well in their latest stuff. But that fight that fight in the end of episode 2 was fucking amazing.
Yep.
Oh,
It's like
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. So
guys,
good.
Maybe it's an idea you guys have been trying to be as vague as possible. Can we just spoil the first 2 episodes? Like it's not that deep in. I guess that's something we could just do.
I'm okay with it as somebody
care.
who hasn't seen the show.
Yeah,
but
same here. I haven't seen anything, but I mean,
like,
going the first
into
few
it,
episodes is fine.
I know that we're going to have some version of his origin story.
Yeah.
And they're going to set up the Kingpin as the villain.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they don't spend a whole lot of time on the origin story. Like, they certainly don't do it linearly. Like, they have like the first like shot is like of him, getting in the accident, getting blinded, and then cut to present day where he's doing stuff, and they do like flashbacks of him as a kid learning to use his powers and learning to fight and all of that stuff.
Oh, kind of like the first really good season of Arrow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
I'm just putting our spoilers thing on screen.
Oh, we have that. We have that.
We have that now.
I can't wait to see
that
it.
prepared. Oh, that's good. That's good. But yeah, they kind of just launched straight into it, and he hasn't got the classic red suit. He's got like a black, all of black. Yet with like a mask over his head, which is taken directly from
Man Without
Frank Miller
Fear
comic book.
Yeah, it's a Frank
Man
Miller.
Without Fear. That's the one.
It's basically Frank Miller's line of Daredevil is considered some of the best that Daredevil has ever had.
Yeah.
And Man Without Fear is like the first. It's kind of like a different take on his origin story that Frank Miller did back when Frank Miller was actually writing decent stuff.
Yeah. Oh, poor Frank Miller. What happened to you? But yeah, the fight choreography is it's so like intense and it's believable. Because one thing I really like is watching people do like a fight choreography where they get tired and they get hurt.
Yes, exactly.
And it looks like they're taking a beating. That goes all the way back to like. That's why I really like Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones movies. Because he does a really good job of making it look like he's getting the shit kicked out of him. And that's exactly the same in Daredevil, where it's like he bleeds, he's hurt, he's exhausted, but he's still fighting, and it's really well choreographed.
Exactly. It's like they watched that episode that Every Frame of Painting did on Jackie Chan.
And we're like,
we're gonna do that with our fight scenes. Because that's exactly basically what they did.
Yeah.
And minus the comedy bit, but it's like... And I think...
but...
another thing that I was really impressed with the show, or something that is very different from other Marvel properties, and makes me excited to see what they will do with some other Marvel properties. The Punisher. Is this show is very adult. It's M-rated. There's blood.
It's got the Netflix thing. It's made for Netflix, so it doesn't have to adhere to network TV.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good point.
Yeah, it's so. There are several points because I've been basically binge watching it today. Like I woke up, it's like Daredevil, 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 and there were several points at which I was watching. I was going, oh, it's not going. Like,
yeah, it was basically
Yeah.
around
Like,
the
oh.
third episode.
Yeah,
The start scene
Some
of the third
things
episode
happen.
and the end scene of the third episode. I just went, oh.
that's gonna smart in the morning. it's
And the
It's-
rest of
it's-
next week.
Like if
yeah, it's real.
if you're going
It's
into that
surprisingly
show,
gory.
if you're going into the show and expecting like Guardians of the Galaxy levels of violence,
Yeah,
you're going
like-
to get something completely different than you bargained for.
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
not the sort of thing where someone gets punched and falls over and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
nope. You hear their ribs cracking and blood coming out of their mouth. It's intense.
And
is
you
the
see
word
like
for it.
you actually see like the bone pipe sticking out of their arm, and
Ooh.
it's
Yeah.
gruesome.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it just makes me excited because back when I started getting into comics, like one of my absolute favorites was The Punisher. And Marvel has said for years now that they're planning to do a Marvel Studios Punisher thing, a movie or a TV show.
Yeah.
I'm expecting them to do a TV show at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes me excited to see that they do all the things they do with Daredevil, because it's what I would expect from Punisher.
Yeah.
They're definitely getting serious about it too. My day job, some of the items we sell had the Punisher skull on them, and we actually got a cease and desist last week.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's interesting.
Oh.
Could be coincidence.
How
That-
long
like,
have you
then
guys been
again-
selling that?
Years.
Okay.
Oh.
Yep.
Like,
Okay,
like
then, yeah.
easily 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, the
We've been
the
selling
Punisher logo
those
has
products, and we're now not
Punisher-
allowed to use it.
the Punisher logo has been used a lot illegally in like
Yeah.
merchandising. Like that's a very famous logo that most people don't actually know where it comes from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I mean, it's a skull.
we got
yeah.
we got the SmackDown the other day.
It's like, no.
And sadly,
Interesting.
the two Punisher movies that have come out.
Oh, Lamb's
Or-
gone.
Oh,
Lamb.
Lambs,
Lamb.
What?
There he
Oh,
is.
he's back.
I'm here.
your audio
got-
cut out there for a second, Lamb.
Oh, okay. No, well, it's like the two Punisher movies that came out were, or there's three, but we don't talk about the Dolph Lundgren one because that had nothing to do with Punisher at all.
Yeah.
The Thomas Jane one, it was
Was that
It-
Dirty Laundry, or was that the other one?
no. He did a fan movie follow up to show that he wanted to play Punisher again.
Right.
That was
Ah.
called Dirty Laundry.
And
That
that
was
was-
based upon the 2004 movie, which he played the Punisher in. What that movie
Right.
was, it was okay at the time where the best comic book movie that was out was like Spider-Man.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
that's as comic book movies go,
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
bad.
And then Warzone. I actually really like Warzone. Like, that is
Okay.
actually one of my favorite action movies. But I don't like it as a Punisher movie. I like it as a really good action movie.
that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's funny how that works. It's like you can make a really good film or TV show about a character, or just like that's good on its own. But when you try and fit an established character into it, people who are fans of that character are like, no, this isn't this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm just
but it's still a
really-
good movie otherwise.
I'm just really happy to see that they're fitting all of these different demographics and tones into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because it shows that there's a lot more that they can do with it, more than just the regular action
Yeah.
comedy thing that's been going on with basically other movies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They're diversifying their styles.
Yeah,
One thing they haven't brought in yet, which is happening soon though, because you've got Cosmic Marvel with Guardians of the Galaxy. You've got like normal like Marvel movies like Avengers and Captain America.
Normal.
You've got, like, they're sort of, I don't know, like action movies, and you've got like noir stuff now, like Daredevil.
Well, they've also announced Doctor Strange.
I was going to say
Yeah.
they're bringing the magic side of things, which is the last piece of the puzzle.
The Marvel puzzle.
And yeah, Doctor Strange is going to be happening with Benny Smatch Cumberbund as Doctor Strange.
I'm still so
Bandersnatch Cumberbund.
I'm still so disappointed over that casting.
Butterscotch cucumber. Yeah, I was going to ask you guys, like, what do you think about that casting? Because
that Battlefield unicycle is so hot right now.
Oh,
No,
man.
my gripes with casting is that he's in too many things right now, just nerd-wise. He's in everything in the nerdosphere right now. And
Yeah.
he's becoming overexposed. He's a very good actor. He's a very popular actor, but you don't have to put him in everything.
Yeah. And with him being in everything, you're not going to be able to see him as his character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they do some crazy visual transformation.
I'm just hoping he grows a beard.
It's necessary.
I wonder how weird he's gonna look in the goatee. Like the actor I was really hoping they would go for when it came to Doctor Strange was Pedro Pascal, who played Oberyn on Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Perfect.
He would have been really good.
He was my third pick for that role.
If he wasn't already Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. would have been good casting.
Yeah.
Visually,
also, I don't know, would also from Game of Thrones, Aidan Gillen, who plays
Littlefinger.
Littlefinger.
Yeah.
He would have been.
He could also been good.
Good choice.
yeah.
And it's like they're clearly casting British actors.
Yeah. They're casting British
Also,
actors for
I
an American character.
Yeah. I don't know why he's... Yeah, it's another British actor, which I'm starting to feel bad about. It's like, we can't just keep taking all of your superhero roles.
Well, I'm going to let you in
already-
on a little secret, Hat. Most
Yes.
of the actors being cast recently are Canadian anyway.
Oh. Commonwealth. Get in there. Yeah, because like we were already Superman and Batman. Because like Henry Cavill is English, Christian Bale is Welsh. Although now we've got Ben Affleck, who is not English to my knowledge. He might be faking. You never know.
Ben Affleck is actually somebody I'm kind of excited to see in that role, only because he's got the comic book background.
I mean, he was also Daredevil.
He was Daredevil
Yes.
in the Daredevil movie we don't talk about. Or
Yeah,
I didn't find it that bad.
I mean, I have
I
heard.
don't think I can blame Ben Affleck for that, though.
No. I like a lot of people when they announced like Batman, it was like, but you ruined Daredevil. It's like, no, that was
No,
actually
the
I've heard.
writers and the directors ruined Daredevil.
I've heard that the director's cut for Daredevil is way better than the original movie.
Oh, yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's what
It's
I've
watchable.
heard.
Yeah.
So it's actually a lot of other factors that ruined that movie. It was not Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck will probably be a very good Batman. My
He's got
problem,
the chin for it.
He's just going to be hamstrung by the new Superman.
yeah, but
Among other things.
there's the thing with DC movies overall right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also the
Grimdark.
title,
What Batman versus Superman?
Dawn of Justice.
Oh. Yeah, it's like let's just very obviously set up that we're going to make a Justice League movie in the title of this movie.
Well, I mean, they're going to have Wonder Woman cameos in it, too, so...
And Aquaman and Flash
Aquaman.
and the Flash is not
And
going to be the
Cyborg?
Flash is not going to be
I
the
have-
same actor.
No.
It's like
I have so many problems with that, but that's neither
it's
here nor
because
there.
DC said they don't want to make a movie universe, but they
then-
do want to because they're
But
doing
that's what they're
this.
doing.
I was gonna say, wait, what?
I think what they seem to have, like, it certainly looks from the outside that they have a much higher, like, they separate movie and TV, like, in terms of importance. Like, movies, way more important. TV, whatever, who cares, it's TV. Whereas Marvel's like, no, bring it all together and make it all part of the same thing, because they're different, they're different things and they can work together. Like, you can have a TV show that links up with a movie without that being a problem, that works fine. But the problem is the Flash show is so different in tone from the DC movies that they're like, well, we can't have no fun allowed.
Yeah.
Even though historically the Flash is the fun soul of the Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, further to that point, there was another thing revealed recently that the people who are going to be making the Flash solo movie are Lord and Miller, the guys who made the Lego movie.
Oh, okay.
And Clone High.
Ah.
That sounds
I have
good.
some hope then.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, and that got my hopes up a little bit more.
I think DC
pissed
is
it's
trying
not
to
Grant Gustin.
change. Like, you can obviously see it with the Flash, that they're trying to change a bit.
DC's change always seems to be forced on them by outside influence, by looking at what Marvel is doing and how they're so successful.
Exactly.
Like, we should do that.
Should do that.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
They're chasing.
Exactly.
Isn't working. Yeah.
And yeah, I don't look forward to more. I don't look forward to Batman versus Superman.
I completely skipped the new Superman.
Watch it. Yeah, actually, I haven't seen that one.
I didn't like it.
Alright.
I really didn't like it.
I thought it was okay. I didn't hate it as much as everyone else seems to have, but it wasn't amazing. It was okay, and I do understand a lot of the criticisms. The bits I really liked were the bits on Krypton with what's his face?
Russell Crowe.
Slot?
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
that was really cool. And then you had Superman with about as much.
Around the world.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to talk green filters, it's just Man of Steel.
Yeah, and then you had Superman with about as much character as a wet paper bag, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I did not enjoy that movie. It hurts me that they're planning to. It looks like they're doing the same thing with Superman versus Batman, because it's like they announced the character designs for both Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and they're all like completely saturated.
Ray.
I
Very
I
brown looking.
really enjoy the Aquaman design in principle, but it lacks color. Like there's no color in it.
We'll have to see how it looks on film, because like the publicity shot is probably going to look slightly different from how it looks on film. But I don't have great hopes for it.
And there was also the picture of Wonder Woman, which is just desaturated.
I haven't seen that one.
It's a lot of like copper, brown, like grey color.
Well, it's like they made the Wonder Woman costume out of leather and metal, and then
Googling it
desaturated it. They just ran that dial
that one.
backwards.
I'd seen that one. I hadn't realized that was actually real.
That is real.
Yeah, that's real.
Okay.
That's happening. That's the thing.
On the
And
flip
I
side,
don't want to talk about the Wonder Woman thing because it'll make me rant.
On the
Okay.
flip side of the superhero movie coin, that last Avengers spot though.
Oh yes.
Ooh.
I've been dodging these since the first one. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see this. I don't need to see anything, but go ahead.
It's the first spot I've seen out of the Avengers stuff that doesn't actually focus on Ultron.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, because they've all been like, "I'm gonna kill you," or
Yeah, it focuses more on the interactions between the team, and
That's where the good stuff is.
like it showcases Tony's sass. Like one of the first things is they land the jet, and Maria Hill comes on over the radio and says, "Everything's good to go, boss." And Tony Stark looks over at Steve and says, "Actually, he's the boss. I just design everything, pay for everything, make everything look cool."
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Yep.
that character interaction.
That's
Yeah.
the character interaction that made the first movie.
Well, yeah.
And
Yeah.
even in
Maybe-
the little bits of stuff that I've seen here and there, I like that's gonna be.
I mean, that's also what carried the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It's the interaction between the characters.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
Absolutely.
the whole movie.
That was how
basically.
Avengers was how I convinced. Well, first of all, it got my girlfriend into superhero movies overall, because I'd watched Iron Man and stuff with her, and she didn't really enjoy those.
Yeah.
And then I brought her along at Avengers, and the first thing she said to me when we got out of the movie theater was, "That was fucking awesome."
It's that Chris
Score.
Evans, man.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
because of the characterization and stuff, I managed to also convince her to watch Firefly with me.
Well, yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
because she was
Whedon knows.
already onto that whole Joss Whedon train at that point. Then
And now she
Has-
has that hole in her heart where continued Firefly
That-
series should
That
be.
hole in her heart that's shaped kind of like a giant spike.
I'm a leaf on the wind. A leaf on
Yes,
the wind,
that one.
HB.
Oh god.
Never forgive Joss Whedon for that.
yeah,
That's actually another really good segue, though, because Joss Whedon had some choice words to say about the first look that MTV showed of Jurassic World.
Oh yeah, did you guys see this?
I haven't seen.
I
it.
have not seen what he said
oh.
about that. I've seen the first
So
look.
the clip
I haven't seen the
is
first look either.
the clip is basically the female lead shows up and talks to
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Playing Chris
Sorry,
Pratt.
they're just all Chris.
Did Chris
It's
Pratt
Evans,
playing Chris Pratt?
Chris Hemsworth. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not really playing it. He's Star-Lord again, which it's fine.
So yeah,
Yeah.
she shows up to talk to him and basically to offer him a job and talk about how they made a new dinosaur because you just make new dinosaurs.
And the Saw Factory just
And the interaction between the characters is very. This one's Chris Pratt, and I'm an icy. I have to do everything to the.
Oh.
I have to organize my whole life. I'm uptight
Oh
and
god.
and they have a pre-existing relationship because
Yep.
of course they do.
And
they just
I believe
flirt
Joss Whedon's
terribly.
were. Does
seen
this
that.
really have to be 70s era sexist?
Oh,
Yeah, I've
Seriously,
seen that
in
tweet.
2015.
that's
Yeah.
accurate. Yeah.
And it's like, yes,
Oh,
I'm
that's
still
right.
going to see Jurassic World, but he raises a point.
I'm probably I think most of us that are going to see that movie because we saw Jurassic Park
At
when we
some
were
point.
kids.
It's the original Jurassic Park's a good film, and it was the only one ever made.
Yeah. Just now they're making a
nothing
sequel.
else.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
actually,
that, I'm amazed it took them this long.
I'm kind of disappointed because I saw I think it's at the end of the third movie where you see those pterodactyls just fly off, and the son asks the dad like, "Where are they going?" And they're gonna find a new place to live or something. And I'm like, are they just gonna colonize the Earth? Is this
Disney
just gonna be a
World.
problem?
The code
For the
of Disney
ecosystem.
World.
It would have been even greater if you just saw pterodactyl swoop down and grab other dinosaurs' eggs and just carry them off. Because by that point, it was already silly.
Yeah.
Well, they just fly.
I was hoping like you have Texas with the T-Rex in the background because they're everywhere right now. Good luck with that.
Well, they
And
just
I know it's
fly
not going to
into a
happen, but
jet
I really
engine.
want raptors on motorcycles.
Raptors on motorcycles.
I mean that movie's already gonna be super silly, so
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's starring Star-Lord.
yeah. This year overall is just gonna be an amazing year for his television and movies.
It's been pretty good already.
Yeah.
We're getting new Star Wars.
Oh right, that's this year.
Is that this year? I thought that was... No.
It is
Batman
this year.
vs. Superman is 2016, right.
Yeah, we're getting the new Star Wars this year, and
Right.
unlike
that's
a
good.
lot of other Star Wars fans, I don't have any negative thoughts towards it.
1 week before Christmas, December 18th.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, think
yes.
of the
Get it in my eyes.
Good.
Christmas came early this year.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
just imagine the toys, the commercialism. It's
The
that's
merchandising!
exactly.
Merchandising.
all that
Spaceballs! The fire extinguisher!
Yeah.
Then we're also
Merry
just continuing on the Marvel Netflix shows. We're getting the rest of those shows as well.
Oh
I'm really looking
yeah.
forward to Luke Cage.
I am also
Yeah.
looking forward to Luke Cage.
Nope.
Mm.
I
I
am
know barely
actually
anything about that comic series. I've never been to comics myself, but I just sounds interesting.
I've
Yeah,
read some of the
it's-
Defenders, and Luke Cage was my favorite character out of those.
Yeah.
The casting for that is actually there were two actors that were very, very interested in that role. That I'm surprised they didn't cast either of them. The first one is more known as the Old Spice guy, Isaiah Mustafa.
Oh.
Yeah.
He even made his own fan-made trailer to make Marvel cast him as Luke Cage. And
Has
then
that ever worked?
no, and then
Uh,
there's an older Spice guy with the name Terry Crews, who
not
really,
Old Spice
really
guy,
wanted to
old
play
Spice
Luke
guy.
Cage, and he was also like the big fan favorite cast for that role because
he's
Luke
perfect
Cage.
for it.
Luke Cage
Yeah.
looks like Terry Crews.
Yeah, like Terry Crews, like way better than Isaiah Mustafa for that role.
Yeah.
I would
I'd
say. But they
actually,
didn't give it to either of them.
If I got to cast Isaiah Mustafa, I'd probably put him in the role of Black Panther,
Yeah, that'd be good.
Fair enough.
which has already
Which
been
is
cast
also-
now.
Which is also a movie that's coming out at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, we've got like 10, 15
So
years
many.
planned out for us.
Yeah.
The far future.
It's
Yeah.
Marvel is like, we know you're just going to give us the money, so here's what we're putting out forever.
It's just
Like,
look,
okay,
And if I could drop $100 right now on a you get to see all these movies when they come out ticket, I would right now.
Yeah. I have gone to
I don't
every
do early
single.
access.
I have seen every single Marvel Studio movie so far on premiere day. So I'm gonna
David,
continue doing that. Actually, Avengers: Age of Ultron is the first one I'm not gonna see on premiere day because I'm gonna see it
Ooh.
2 days afterwards instead because of time stuff.
Time stuff.
Yeah.
that's yeah.
Well,
but
we get it.
there-
We get it before America, like an entire 2 weeks
Yes.
before America.
Suck in America.
what?
The same thing happened with like the last with like
Yeah, it happened with the
several-
last Avengers, right?
Here's
Yeah.
a tornado.
There's a reason for it that I can't remember, but it's something to do with like markets and gauging reaction
It
before
has
they.
It has Captain America in it.
Oh,
Why?
did we just lose hats?
No,
Hello.
I can.
We have
I can
hats
still see
audio,
that.
we just don't have hats video.
I
I
have
don't.
Hat's video. I think it's only on your end.
Me too.
Oh, okay.
No, I
Huh.
just
now
just
you're
blocked out. It just blocked out HPs. It's just like we don't need to do this.
Yes, you do.
No, yeah.
But yeah, it's.
But
Was
I'm
my
really
video
looking forward
making
to
you feel
that.
inadequate, hats?
I sadly
no.
we're not gonna be able to talk about Age of Ultron until all the Americans have seen it. So
I haven't seen it yet.
We'll see. Here's what you guys do. Just take a cell phone in. Get me a crappy cell phone recording.
there'll be
Okay,
crappy cell phone
watch this.
recordings up an hour after it premieres.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, you don't need us for that.
It's the internet.
Yeah, but I'd feel better about it if it came from you guys.
I'm looking forward to that. Devin Ferrazzi from Badass Digest put up. He just put up like his initial reactions because he saw the movie like yesterday,
Mhm.
and he said it gets like surprisingly comic booky, like way more comic
the-
booky
the
than
vid-
any other like Marvel movie has gone before.
Oh, really?
Really? That's
I
interesting.
totally forgot to mention this earlier. Did you guys see the Vision poster?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Skipping everything.
It's Paul Bettany, but he's purple.
He looks like
That's-
he looks like Vision.
He looks like the Vision, exactly.
Do you know my favorite thing about that is, I'm pretty sure Paul Bettany, because he does the voice of Jarvis,
Yes.
Iron Man's suit AI, and he's also playing the Vision, which make your own connections. But
That's been spoiled like months ago, right?
yeah, but when he signed up to do, he didn't really know what he was signing up for Iron Man. He was like, I think it may have been like a favor or something to the director. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll record this. It would only have taken like not even a whole day because it's like
Yeah,
a couple
it's-
of lines. And then afterwards he's like, what, I'm in this really popular movie? Okay, sure. And now
What? I'm in this really popular franchise. Okay, sure.
And then, like, he comes back for Iron Man 2 and 3, sure, because that's like a day's work at the most. And then all of a sudden, now you're a major character in this movie. It's like, I didn't ask for this. I never signed up for this.
Speaking of things we didn't ask for.
Aren't we doing?
Or
I think we're gonna take a break first, and then we're gonna speak about the thing we didn't
Damn
ask
it.
for.
ruined segues. That was the perfect one.
Yeah, I heard it too. I was like, should I? Are we going to?
We're gonna take a short break. We'll be right back.
I didn't.
Sorry,
I didn't ask for this.
I couldn't resist that
I
segue.
didn't ask for this. Either.
Yeah, of course. I knew you would have. Back.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, what?
Hi.
We're back for the second leg.
Guys.
So, we need a segue for this.
I didn't ask for this. We've been over this, Lamb.
Yes.
We had this segue. We had it.
Well, no,
planned out.
see, Hats, you didn't ask for the break, but we all asked for what's coming up.
Yeah.
So,
all
announcement.
asked
Announcement for Square Enix. New Deus Ex game.
New Deus Ex game still starring Adam Jensen.
Yeah.
Which,
Like new Deus Ex game. That's good. More Adam Jensen. Okay.
But he's got character now in the form of a goatee.
He
He
already
had that
had
goatee
that.
before,
He
right?
had that.
Did he?
Was his look.
No,
Yeah.
he didn't have a. He didn't have like a super
Yeah.
pointy shin. He had like
He
had like a robot chin that was like an actual
I'm
like.
gonna look
He's
this up.
definitely got more facial hair now than he did.
I thought he had a lot of facial hair last time. I don't know.
His facial hair is augmented. Is exactly what happened.
Like everything.
No, he
Yeah,
totally
no,
had a
he
goatee.
totally had. Yeah.
He had
exactly.
he had a full beard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
a full
He
beard
just seems
with a
different.
pointy- pointy
Maybe
chin.
it's these new generation graphics.
You can see every hair on his face.
All of them.
So yeah, like
He's also got new powers.
more Adam Jensen. I can take it or leave it. It's
Yeah.
I feel it's more of this obsession with everything has to be like iconic in today's games, and
Yeah, you're trying.
Jensen is not a good enough character to warrant that.
Well, there's one thing I'm hoping they're going to do, and I know they're not going to do that because that would be too cool or complicated. But does Jensen find... okay, spoilers for the end of Deus Ex Human Revolution. Does Jensen... does Jensen find out... oh, God.
Go on.
Does Jensen ever find out that it's his DNA that Megan was researching? Does he do that?
Is
Okay.
that even a spoiler for the end of the game? Isn't that like
I
the
don't know.
mid-game twist?
That might be the mid-game twist, I don't know.
It's a spoiler one way. or
I don't
the
think
other,
it's
but
even
yeah.
a mid-game
yeah.
twist. I think it's an early game twist.
You can find you can pretty much find the everything aside from the straight saying up in the first room you are in, even before you have anything else.
It's on the box art.
Yeah,
It
well,
says-
What a twist.
No, but
Yeah.
what I'm hoping is that the fact that his DNA and his blood apparently also ends up being used for advancing the augmentation, that he personally feels responsible for what's happening, even though he can't be blamed, of course. But I'm hoping they're going to use that, and that would
That would be-
justify him being
yeah.
there.
That'd be a good take on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they've got the trailer out now, which is like very action oriented and very sort of kind of. I don't know about stereotypical, but it's it's an action game with a
It's
builder
kind
and
of
stuff.
It's Cyberpunk Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, which it's a it's a hype trailer. That's what it's supposed to do. It's
Yeah.
like explosive stuff. But
There
who
is
knows?
information in it, though.
It's the hand, the Illuminati.
I was reading up on it and all that, and somebody deconstructed it. And there's about half a dozen new abilities that that he shows off over the course of the trailer, and like a lot of them are just looks like augmented replacements for things that were weapons in the previous game, like the stun gun hand.
Yeah. shooting the blade out of his arm.
Yeah, firing the arm blade. The one that I thought was really interesting, though, is remote control of electronics. And they only showcase it briefly, but he shuts off a TV without touching it.
Oh, right, I remember that.
I too have that power. It's called a remote control.
Yeah, but imagine if that turns into remote hacking.
I think that's.
So you don't,
I think that's more what it's implying.
If there's say there's a tree you go down that makes it so you don't actually have to crouch walk up to your terminals.
You can just be like, and then you just explode.
That would make stealth run-throughs a lot more interesting because you could go alternate directions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Apparently, the Icarus landing system also just a jetpack, just, whoop. Or it seems to have been like powered up a bit because I think there's a shot where he just like jumps down. It's
from
like,
a balcony with a big like yellow lightning thing and just kills everybody. Yeah. There's that, and then near the end of the trailer, the guy he's fighting looks like he fires basically the Typhoon at him.
Right.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, like, on the one hand, it's good. Like, more Deus Ex is good. Good series. Like, there's a lot of stuff there. On the other hand, I'm kind of a bit concerned that it's kind of turning into, like, sequelitis. Like, here's Adam Jensen's second game and another. Yeah. Like, a more regular cycle of Deus Ex games. Which is maybe, like, too much speculation from me, but, like, there's such a rich world of Deus Ex that, it doesn't have to be about Adam Jensen. It doesn't have to, continue his story. They're doing it because it makes sense sort of financially because he's a brand that people are attracted to more so than Deus Ex.
Well, Square Enix have said that Deus Ex is going to become like their new mega franchise.
Oh, God.
That's what concerns me.
Yeah, they're doing like comics, they're doing games, they're doing a movie which apparently coming out in like 2017.
On the one hand, I just hope it's all good.
Yeah, I think basically.
That's the prayer.
There is a good universe there, and we need more. I just want more cyberpunk media overall, because cyberpunk is like one of my favorite settings. And
like the original Deus Ex was like a cult classic or whatever. Yeah. And then, but there's so much you could do with that universe.
Yeah. From a mechanics perspective, I kind of want to know how that nano shield's gonna work.
Yeah, it was like, wait, whoa. That's outside of the realm of. Yeah. Though it could be because the first Deus Ex is in the future from these games, where they basically have nanomachines inside of them. This could be the first step to that.
Yeah, they do seem to be. They're clearly like advancing the timeline, trying to build it up to original Deus Ex. And some people have suggested that they might be it might be leading towards a Deus Ex, like a reboot. Of the
original timeline.
That's like complete speculation, but that would make sense because if they keep going with this timeline, it's not that far off original Deus Ex. No, like you could conceivably meet JC and Paul Denton as children in Mankind Divided. Like that's the sort of timeline you're looking at.
Yeah, and I am interested. Like I want to know more about the character in the hood.
Yeah.
The villain, from the trailer, looks kind of villainy.
He looks like generic villain man.
I am villain man. I have robot arm.
I am also Russian.
Ivan, when you have robot gun arm, you becoming the villain.
Well,
such is life in Cyberzone.
Jensen also has robot gun arm.
Well, yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Oh no.
He has two. He has become the anti-villain.
He even says at the end of the villain's thing to Jensen is, "This should be your fight. You're augmented," and Jensen's like, "I didn't ask for this." So yeah.
Does Jensen actually say anything in that trailer?
No, he does. There's narration from him where he's talking about how he. I think it's how he feels responsible, and it's he doesn't know who to side with or something like that.
It's not just based upon these games are all about since it's a cyberpunk game, it's all about conspiracies. Like, this guy's probably not going to be the main villain.
No.
And he's probably going to be either, like, super misunderstood, or he's going to be a puppet for someone else.
Yeah. If I know my Deus Ex, then it'll probably be the Illuminati.
Don't they show Illuminati imagery in the trailer?
Doesn't Jensen specifically say he's going after the Illuminati in this series, in this game?
I don't think he uses the words the Illuminati, but he's going after the people who were clearly the Illuminati in the last game.
They showed the low.
Is it Metal Gear Solid?
The Lilo Lalelo.
Wait, if this is Metal Gear Solid, does that mean we're going to play the first level as Adam Jensen and then get a whole different character for the rest of the game?
Yes.
It is a sequel, so yeah.
No, yeah. It's just got to be Adam Jensen, and then he dies, and we get to play JC Denton again, and it's gonna be absolutely no difference because they're identical.
JC Denton would be like 9 years old.
Yeah,
in that timeline.
At least it wouldn't be a Steve.
It'd be like that horror game when you're a baby.
Oh god, that game.
Yes.
Except you're a cybernetic.
Mother was that the name of that game?
I think it's Lucius.
Lucius?
Right? No, not Lucius. I'm thinking of.
No, there's one where you're literally just a baby walking around a house.
Yeah.
At night.
Oh, Among the Sleep.
Yes, Among the Sleep. Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah.
I don't know. All I remember was the mother was a drunk.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
That's Among the Sleep. Yeah.
Spoilers: the mother was a drunk.
If you were gonna play it, you'd have played it already.
Yeah.
And the imagery's there the whole time.
Yeah.
Like you'll probably figure out the twist pretty early.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Really early if you're listening to this podcast, because there it is.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So yeah, if they do that, like complete speculation again, but like playing as someone who isn't Adam Jensen would actually be interesting. To me, anyway, because nothing wrong with Adam Jensen, but there are other characters you could do with that universe, like, because was it in Invisible War, which was a game everybody hated because it was terrible, you could choose male or female character, I think.
I don't remember.
You could be, but like the other main Deus Ex games, it's like you are augmented guy, you are Robot Steve for Human Revolution.
Well, the other awful one, the mobile one, had you playing John Reno, but it wasn't John Reno.
John Reno.
No.
Like spelled like the car, like Renault.
Yeah.
Right.
The other thing is, like, are they just gonna hand us a whole bunch of augments at the beginning of the game?
Probably not.
No, they're going to hand you the augments at the beginning of the game,
and
they're going to take them away from you, and you have to get them back because it's a video game.
Like that's why I want a new protagonist, just so I don't have to sit through that trope.
That's been going on since Metroid games, but yeah.
Oh my powers!
It's like Adam Jensen has to go and unlock the super missile again for like the third time.
We did his last game.
Just
give me.
Get the backup of this.
Yeah.
It'd be fun if the games actually started doing more of like the cross game saves. Like if you play Deus Ex Human Revolution, you'd have everything you unlocked in Human Revolution already unlocked.
Oh.
Yeah, but
that would require me to play through Human Revolution again.
No, it probably wouldn't, because people would probably upload saves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's one of those games I've been meaning to do again anyway.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's not a bad idea to do that, right?
No, it's perfectly fine. But the other thing is that the endings. So like you were saying about crossing stuff over between games. So Deus Ex games have always had a problem with this, because between the original Deus Ex and Deus Ex Invisible War, so at the end of Deus Ex, you get 3 choices for an ending. You can do 3 different things.
Red, blue, or green?
Yeah, basically. And then in Invisible War, which is a sequel, they're like, well, which one do we choose? And they basically mesh all of them together so that they all happened, which is really weird and didn't really work. And they've said now that Human Revolution had like 4 endings, I think, 4 total.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of them are canon. Just like, nope, none of them.
That's
Didn't
not confusing at all.
No.
It's all a dream. None of those endings are canon at all. Yeah. And also, Helicopter Lady's not in this game, in Mankind Divided.
Exclamation point helicopter.
Where did you? Where did they say this? Because I've been hearing this as well, but I don't know where that info came from.
I'm trying to remember where I saw it. Hang on, I can try and find this.
I saw it on the lure forums, but I think.
I mean, are they just saying that Helicopter Lady canonically dies?
I think so.
Because you don't have to save her.
Well, don't you have to go out of your way to do it? It's like it's particularly difficult to do, I think.
Yeah, it's
and a
very
lot of people
difficult to
did.
save her.
Yes, because she was a great character, and everyone's like, "No, you are surviving." It's like,
Well, I was doing a non-lethal playthrough, but bring out the machine gun. This is gonna get ugly.
You actually can do it non-lethal, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I
Even
just
harder.
realized who Helicopter Lady is.
Malik.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
I couldn't remember the name off the top of my head. Yeah, because I'm a scrub.
I was
But
just
yes.
imagining a woman with pigtails that just...
Go gadget copter.
but hey, the news
like
lady...
chicks that-
On her legs.
It's like, oh,
Yeah, the news
probably-
lady's back. Because unifying themes or something.
Yeah. It's like she didn't die or anything, right?
No.
Well, no, there's a twist with the news lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is.
What a twist.
So,
Yeah, so I don't know.
yeah, I'm
excited. Put it that way.
I'm happy more Deus Ex, and
Yes.
I'm curious about its themes.
Well, it's gonna be transhumanism. That like
but
every game has been.
I mean,
have transhumanism themes. This one is just this is the plot of the game is going to be transhumanism.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so which... Really, what it's going to be is which historical parallels to people being treated as second-class citizens are we going to draw with the transhumans?
Well, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, they're calling it mechanical apartheid, so.
Wow.
Oh, really?
I missed that.
Well, yeah, I also missed that.
Good.
As far as I recall, I'm pretty sure they said it's going to be like the mechanical apartheid.
Okay.
So I guess we know what they're drawing from.
So non-augments get to use this water fountain, augments get to use this oil fountain.
Oh.
Something like that.
That hit me hard when I played BioShock Infinite. That's the first time I've heard it a lot. You see it and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I get this
Hey.
point now.
Here.
Shit.
Yeah. Also,
I've-
hey, here,
I've-
make a choice about whether or not you're going to bean the interracial couple with a baseball.
Yeah.
I had.
Oh, by the way, this choice doesn't matter.
I think there's there is no, it does matter.
You
'cause-
get an item if you
Yeah,
don't.
yeah. I would hope most people did get that item.
Yes, but it's like, make this terrible choice about whether or not to blow your cover. By the way, in the moment, it doesn't actually matter what you choose. Something else is going to.
Because it's like
Constants
nope.
and variables. Constant and variables.
Yeah. So yeah, Deus Ex looks like a game.
Yeah, I'll be interested what they do with it.
Yes.
story-wise.
I want to see what they're doing with this whole mega franchise thing.
Yeah.
That's something I'm not looking forward to, but it could be good.
Yeah.
It could be, yeah. You just get worried about them stretching things way too thin, and like, because the reason Human Revolution and the original Deus Ex were good, part of it is because they were clearly, certainly the original Deus Ex was like a labor of love, but it wasn't like we got to make a video game. It's like, no, I want to make this video game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
it kind of feels like Mankind Divided is. Well, we got to make a Deus Ex game.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we've got to make a sequel to Human Revolution.
I mean, they've said at least that they don't want to repeat the mistakes of Human Revolution, aka they don't want to repeat the boss fights.
And Praxis was the other.
Yeah,
thing.
I heard the
Kickstarter.
boss fights were a lot better in Game of the Year. I still need to play through that.
Director's Cut, I think it was.
Yeah, director.
Or Director's Cut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whichever one made the boss fights good.
That one.
Director's cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Interesting stuff.
What's next on the list?
Yeah, what's next on
Yeah,
the list?
other video games, I
I
guess.
have a list.
Yeah, as far as other video games, we didn't really go super in depth on it, but we've been playing a lot of Elite.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we never mentioned Elite,
That's-
but Elite.
I'm going to
is
sit
the thing.
back, have fun with this.
I mean,
Let's convince Red Nightmare
can
7
just-
to buy the game.
you can just go get like a cup of
Please
tea.
drop the
and-
7. We're friends.
I,
here.
on,
You can drop the
honestly,
7.
honestly, I'm more likely to talk more my concerns about the game, even though
Yes.
I really
Because
like
you're-
the game, but I have a lot of concerns about it.
Well, because you're big into Star Citizen as well, which
Yes.
is like a interesting comparison between the two, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I'll say this though, like I've played. How long have I played it? It's like 26 or like 30 hours or something like that already. Let me find it. Elite Dangerous.
We've only had the game for
30
a week and a half, man.
36 hours, yeah. And I'm kind of running out of things to do.
yeah.
my
There's
fear as well.
there's that thing. It's like once you grind to get a better ship, or you're done.
Or you go explore or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Basically, once you get out of the Sidewinder, the game is over.
Yeah. No. I guess.
I'm saving my big exploration thing for later this year, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games that works to its fullest when you're playing it with your friends.
absolutely.
And the
Which
friend
is-
mechanics are kind of broken. But
Yeah.
these are all things Frontier says they want to fix. And also, like, the original goal of the Kickstarter was make basically an HD remake of the first game. Which they succeeded with. Now they just need something else to do in the game. Because
Now they need to fill it with stuff.
now there needs to be more things to do. Like things that would go a long way would just be more meaningful player interactions, like just the ability to directly give other people money.
Yeah,
That
Yeah,
would
that'd be
that,
nice.
yeah.
that would already
Fuel.
like open up a ton of different things you could do.
yeah.
Suddenly,
Fuel, they are going to be adding the ability. to give them.
refueling. Suddenly, if you have the ability to actually give people money, you can buy services from other players. You can pirates can actually just extort people for money.
Yeah. It's like your money or your ship.
Yeah, like there's
Yeah,
so
the
much
problem
more
with
you
that-
could do with
Basically,
just small
what's your
details
rebuy
like that.
cost? Okay, give me half that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I won't explode you. Yeah.
And I mean, that's a perfectly reasonable pirate thing to do.
Yeah.
And if somebody presented me with that and I was in a ship I couldn't fight back, it's like, well, here you go.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
they just need more small things like that to enrich. Like, if there was more meaningful player interaction in the game that's there would be already a shit ton more things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
But what I think they're afraid of is gold farming
Basically.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always the problem you run into.
Yeah,
That's true.
It's,
One th- I
But
don't know how
there's-
you get around that.
yeah, it's like different games
mean-
come up with their own solutions. Like Star Citizen's solution is they're actually just gonna straight up sell in-game currency for real money, but you're gonna be limited in how much you can buy per month.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, the community is trying to get stuff to happen in Elite in a way
Yeah.
that is really cool. Like, there
Yeah,
was the
exactly.
whole big thing where the player base decided we're going to take this minor faction and just
Yeah.
do a bunch of missions for them and bring up them and have them be in control of this system.
I mean, yeah, like Elite gets compared, well, not compared directly, but sort of compared to Eve a lot, and that's something that Eve does. That's like the entire gameplay of Eve is players doing things, and Elite is like a much more sort of slimmed down, like straightforward game than Eve is, And that kind of also transfers to people doing things.
Yeah, I only keep open like 4 spreadsheets when I play Elite.
Yeah. Yeah.
I keep no spreadsheets because I don't need it to fight things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. I mean, like, there's the Silk Road thing that I was trying out on stream earlier today, which is a player-created trade route. And there's some interesting stuff in there. Like, there's several player factions that have said they are sort of the volunteer police for that section. So there's a couple of on-call protectors who you can add to your friends list, and if you're getting interdicted, you can send them a message and they'll try and get to you. Stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
So they're like that. The player base is trying to add that stuff, and what I'm really hoping is that Frontier will take the cue from the player base and add in-game support for that kind of thing.
Yeah. Facilitate more player-to-player interaction. Because if they just do that, there's, as I said, there's just already a ton more things you could do with what they have.
Yeah.
The game is already a sandbox, but at this point, they're
Just give us a shovel.
Yeah. But we need to have the tools to play in the sandbox. Currently, as players are forcing content out of there.
Yeah. It's like, well, I'll make my own fun then.
Yeah.
You're trying to build a sandcastle without a bucket and water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, out of just dry sand.
It's not really
working.
But that said, like, I am really enjoying what I played. It's just I don't
really
see
fun to
myself playing it for another month or 2 more months, or there needs to be more to do at this point.
Yeah.
And they're doing in the next patch. There is a new mission system coming out, and I hope that will help a bit.
Yeah, their next major update is called like Power Play or something.
Yes,
interesting.
And it's adding like a ton of features, especially regarding to patches, or like not patches to questing.
Yeah, because currently, like, if you're not doing too much with other players, like your own missions are basically grind for bigger ship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then once you have the biggest ship, the game is over.
Yeah. And they're going to be doing some interesting things as well, like the money you get from smuggling and I believe piracy is going to go towards your trading rank now.
Interesting.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. That's
so they're making smuggling and piracy a way to still work towards an elite ranking, which is cool.
Yeah, that's already better, because at this point, doing piracy is kind of shit.
Yeah. I mean, if you like exploring, there's plenty of that to do.
Yeah.
You can go through like nebulas, and
if you're
other
interested in like the galaxy and just pull out and you're the kind of person who gets out a telescope and looks at the stars and looks at star charts, pick a star on one of your star charts, or find a star in the sky with your telescope and find out what it's called. You can go there in Elite.
Yeah.
That's a lot of what's really cool about that game. It's an actual 1-1 recreation of our solar system. You can go, or galaxy. You can go anywhere in your galaxy. Yeah, in the solar system as well.
More than that.
Bigger.
Large.
A lot bigger.
Yes.
It's
It's kind of it's running out of steam, ironically.
Despite just being added. They just added Steam to the game because it was running out.
That's the thing. That's good. They just added it on Steam. They're getting a lot of more players, so they can do the content that they wanted for the stretch goals for the Kickstarter campaign. Because they want to do a lot of similar things that their Star Citizen is planning, with like more first-person interaction, like walking around on stations, walking around in your spaceship. And then they want like actual like going down on planets and actually exploring procedurally generated planets seamlessly.
That's one of my problems with it, is that like I go to
there's this magical force field wall that keeps you from getting to the planet.
Like I go to like a gas giant. It's like it's a gas giant. Stay around it. You go to like a rocky planet or like a Earth-like planet. You're like, cool. That's got like lights on it. There's a civilization there. I can't go there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
have to go
that's
inside
what
another
that's what I want
D12
to change.
station.
But I
And
guess the real final question is: are they gonna be able to add all of that before Star Citizen comes out and basically destroys their player base?
When is Star Citizen coming out?
About
is it coming out soon, trademark?
late next year. It's basically as 2016. It could
The
come
end of
out anytime during 2016. Like
Okay.
the campaign, the first campaign, like the first 60 mission campaign, is coming out this fall
For Star Citizen.
for Star Citizen.
I can see Elite finding its footing before Star Citizen is officially released.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping
I
for.
don't know that I can see it finding its footing before Squadron 42 comes out.
Yeah.
No, but
The other. Sorry, go on.
no, it's both games will be good. They focus on different things. Like what Master Gunner will often say is, Elite is a very wide space sim. Like it's a very wide space simulation, while Star Citizen is very deep.
Yeah, it's the. I've heard this made between Skyrim and Dark Souls. It's one is as wide as an ocean and as deep as a puddle. The other one is as wide as a puddle and deep as an ocean. So,
which, by the way, is not something I would want to fall into.
No, that would be bad.
No,
it's
that'd be terrifying.
Yeah, Elite is.
That's why I don't
like
play Dark Souls.
Yeah, Elite is just really wide, really vast, but there's not much to it beyond that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is that Star Citizen is something you're going to need to upgrade your computer for.
Yeah, good point.
Yes.
And Elite isn't.
Elite is something that I was running on a 5-year-old middle-of-the-line video card 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where
and streaming.
Yeah, that's where they're going to differ. That's where there's going to be a big difference, I think, because people who are really into their gaming rigs and they're, making the best gaming computer that they can, are going to be all over Star Citizen because it's oh yeah, max out my stuff. It's going to be really cool. I can actually play it.
Spend $600 on a HOTAS system.
Yeah, it's because
exactly.
It's a game made for those people.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's the point. And that's where the difference is going to be because the Elite is, frankly, even with how difficult it is to learn, a much more casual game.
Yeah.
It's
and that might be its saving grace.
Exactly.
I want both games to be really successful. But the thing I'm worried of is that Star Citizen is going to come out and just kill Elite. And I don't want that to happen. I want them both to be alive and thriving.
I don't think that's going to happen because of the difference, like you were saying, in their user
scope.
base, and in scope. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yep.
Also, if Battlefield and Call of Duty can coexist, then I'm pretty sure Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous can as well.
Yeah.
Also, as of yesterday, officially, a new challenger has appeared.
Oh yeah.
It's a much different scope as far as space games go, but congratulations to Descent Underground.
Yes. Descent got funded.
Successfully crossing their Kickstarter goal of $600,000 by $1,000.
Ooh, just right
and
there.
it was just
Close enough.
just under. It was just hours before the campaign ended.
Oh,
They got the last
Feels
200,000 during the last day.
Oh, that's gotta feel. That's gotta
Yeah.
have
Both
been so
bad and
hard.
good.
Yeah.
And then again, we're talking about entirely different scopes here. Descent is built as an arena deathmatch game. That's their scope.
It's a 6 degrees freedom of movement inside an asteroid style game.
Yeah.
So it's almost the exact opposite of what you're getting with Elite.
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to play a lot of Descent 3. Descent 3 was fucking awesome.
That sounds good. Yeah, I'm sure the Star Citizen guys. I was complete contrast to Star Citizen, who just keep getting money somehow.
Yeah.
Just like there's a big funnel of money going into
How
them.
can we hold all this money?
in a corner, just Chris Roberts sitting there. Stop! No more money, please.
People pouring buckets of dollars over his head.
Chris Robertson's just like swimming like Scrooge McDuck through.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I know we're not reading chat, but like No Man's Sky
Yes.
is the thing.
Yeah, I
that's
was
gonna
No Man's
Oh,
Sky.
God.
Yeah.
My only
generated.
my only gripe with No Man's Sky is that I have to wait to play it.
Because it's gonna be like a year before it's out on PC.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
because it's
It's
PS4?
timed exclusive for PlayStation 4.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah. And I think
For reference, though, for the whole Star Citizen money thing, as far as money spent on development,
oh right, yeah.
out of all the games ever, Star Citizen, which is an indie game, let's not forget, finger quotes, indie game, is the 10th most funded, like, development-funded video game ever.
and
What else is on that list?
that we're including stuff like Battlefield, where only like 20% of the budget actually goes into the actual game.
Well, this is specifically based on money that's spent on developing the game.
Okay, yeah.
Because if you include
so-
ad budgets, things just get
And,
Yeah, so-
exponentially
and
larger.
it's the most crowd-funded thing ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Just for reference, other games on that list that have had a ton of money put at them: Grand Theft Auto 5,
Yes.
Yep.
Star Wars: The Old Republic, which, by the way, is number 1 on that list.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
because it had everyone voice acting in it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
pretty
completely voice-acted
sure
game.
I'm pretty sure I'm in there as a voice actor, and I don't even voice act.
it just recorded
Destiny.
you like going to the shops. It's like, there you go.
Everybody's
That
in
was
there. Just everybody.
Yeah.
Destiny, Grand Theft Auto 4 is on there as well.
Yeah.
A lot of Rockstar games, actually.
They gotta spend money to make money.
Yeah.
Now, depressingly, the canceled Halo MMO is also on this list.
Oh, that's
And I know
Oh, that's
another game on that list that
Feels Batman.
which I was super excited for when it was like in development and stuff, and that was APB.
Oh, right. I remember that. That went. Yeah.
That went badly. I was in the beta.
That's about all I got.
I was in the beta for that game for a long time. And I was like, you have a good thing here, but you won't actually fix the problems with the game. Like, we keep reporting all of these issues like with the game, like balancing and everything, but you're not fixing it. And then they just released it.
Oof.
Because they ran out of money.
For reference, one of, I would say, last year's biggest games, Watch Dogs, had less money put into development on it than Star Citizen.
Yep.
So,
Got to pay them ads, man. Got to pay them ads.
Yeah.
yeah.
like, when you look at the list, as far as the companies go, it's like EA, Activision, Rockstar, Microsoft, CIG.
Who?
I'm just excited to see what they do with money. Like Chris Roberts said in an interview lately, when he talked about the funding, that basically from the projections they have, not like out of hubris or anything, they are fully expecting to hit 100,000 by the end of the, or 100 million by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Christ.
Which,
Probably.
by the way, will have them tied for 4th place on the most funded
That's
games of all time.
Insane.
But
At what point do they-
it's just based on their projections they have on how the game on how people are spending on the game.
When do they stop taking money? Is what I want to know.
Basically,
when are they going to say nope, that's
Never.
enough?
When
Uh,
Chris Roberts dies.
no, it's gonna be at the moment. Either like the persistent universe goes into like final beta or something.
Yeah.
But don't they then just start raking in money for the game itself when it's out?
You would think so.
No, it's like basically what they've said is when the game is released, they're not gonna stop developing the game. They still have like a shit ton of features they want to add. It's gonna be a game that's basically in development forever.
What do you guys think about that? Because
That's
Elite has also Elite's kind of been doing that as well. Because Elite is released. It's not finished. It's
You
released.
know what game was really well crowdfunded that has continued to be in development forever that's still doing really well is, though?
Yeah, Broken Age?
Minecraft.
Oh.
I was
Yeah.
thinking Minecraft.
They are
probably.
still releasing updates for Minecraft.
Yeah.
True.
And yes, now it's owned
Yeah.
by Microsoft. But it's like they never
that's
stopped pumping out updates even after the game was out.
So
No.
like there's because it used to be, at least it certainly used to be for most games, that like made the game, here's the game. If there's something broken with it, it's like, okay, we'll fix that.
Yeah.
But then that's basically it, and maybe there'd be DLC. With some games now, it's like, here's the game. It's going to keep iterating for as long as you own it.
Or even
No.
before the DLC age, really.
Yeah.
Do people remember expansion packs?
Oh,
God, yeah.
Speaking of,
Where you
well,
go and
again,
you buy
Elite,
another
Grab them?
disc?
again,
I still
Elite,
have those.
because Elite is getting expansion packs. That's actually one of my, what I could see Elite running into issues, is I already spent $50 on that game. And all of these features that they're adding, like the FPS parts and like walking around the planets and stuff, is going to be paid expansions.
that's going to be that's going to be paid expansions.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll see where I'm at
That's
when
why
those
I'm
things
waiting.
come out.
That's
But
one of the reasons I'm waiting.
you know where I might be at when those things come out?
Star Citizen?
Star
Yeah,
Citizen?
playing Star Citizen.
Yeah, because Star Citizen will be releasing with all those features, and it'll at the current time we're talking, Star Citizen is $45, and you're getting essentially 2 games. They're giving Star Citizen away basically for free at that point.
Yeah.
Well.
I should learn how to play Star Citizen.
I should-
Yeah, it's
I'm-
like
I'm-
it's been mentioned
computer
multiple
arts.
times by what's the guy Brabham, the lead designer for Elite, that all of these big features are going to be paid expansions.
Yeah, I read that on the site as well.
Yeah, that's what I can see being the downfall. Because I spent $50 and I got a game that I think it's fun, but it lacks content.
Yeah, it's a $50 game or whatever that translates to.
In that case, I want that elite expansion to be just jam packed with new features.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it also depends on what price the expansion is going to be, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would pay $15,
Yeah, exactly.
but I'm not going to pay 50 again.
Nope.
Yeah.
I doubt the expansion is going to be 50. It's
No,
probably going to be like
that would
15 or 20.
Yeah.
But
I'm fearing 30 or 40.
at the
That's my fear.
At the point where
Yeah.
those expansions are out,
Star Citizen's going to be out.
you will be able to play like the beta for Star Citizen, and it'll be basically complete, and it has all those features, and you're paying like $50 for it.
Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of? Like, Elite is kind of like Spaceship Destiny with less content.
Oh,
Ugh.
Oh,
Well,
don't get
okay,
me started
no,
about Destiny.
Here's what I want. I want Destiny the game with Elite the spaceflight.
Like, put them together.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
That would work.
I
Yeah.
want to play Destiny, but then when I go and get into my awesome spaceship,
It's not just a loading screen.
I want to fly it.
Fly it, yeah.
Well, that's exactly what they want to do.
in
Yeah, but
a paid
In
expansion.
the pen expansion, yeah.
that's what I want.
But they also said when they talked about this that they want to do it in a way that like doesn't split the community. And I
Oh.
don't.
If you're charging money for it, you're splitting the community.
Yeah,
Fact. That's it.
That's where I see the big downfall of Elite in the future, is the expansion thing, because they're patching in a lot of features that Star Citizen will have on release in its like full box form.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, a lot of Elite players are going to get the expansions for free.
Yeah, because they backed.
Yeah, anybody who backed in the alpha and beta stage, they've got lifetime expansion passes. But
Which,
okay.
I mean, that's the same for... I think that was the same for Minecraft and Kerbal Space Program, which were not done by backer tier, because it didn't have... They were pre-Kickstarter, I'm pretty sure. But it was like, if you bought them during alpha, there was basically a promise that you would get all future expansions and releases. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's sort of standard for, I guess, crowdfunded games.
Yeah.
Like, if you buy in early, they're like, you get all the stuff because you were an early adopter.
I mean, if we want to talk about something where we don't sing Star Citizen's praises to the sky, it's the thing that happened with CIG during last week. Because they failed to communicate a very big aspect of how they're doing their single-player campaign.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't hear about this.
So
I haven't heard that.
Okay, so they have a huge variety of video content on their website.
We're talking about Star Citizen, right?
Yes, Star Citizen.
Okay. Yeah.
And one of those shows is 10 for the Chairman, which is every week Chris Roberts sits down and takes 10 questions from their subscribers, which he then answers. And then he was talking about Squadron 42, which is the single player campaign of Star Citizen. And he mentioned passingly that episode 2 and 3 of Squadron 42 isn't gonna be free. So that started a massive outcry because CIG had forgotten to communicate a lot of very important information regarding this.
They didn't tell people.
Yeah, well, they did tell people, but it was like their backers from like a year ago. It was buried under like, it was buried in like stretch goals from like the Kickstarter tier. Okay,
communication.
Yes.
Here's the thing that happened. Yeah. Here's the thing that happened though.
Hang on. Go on. I'm prepared.
So the first thing is the naming of the campaigns confused people because they're Episode 1, Episode 2, and Episode 3. They're not actual... It's not an episodic game. That's where a lot of people first got confused. Because they thought it was going to be the first episode, where you get, like, introduced into characters. The second episode, where it's, like, you know, things happen. And then, the final episode, where it's, like, an epic battle. That's not the case. First episode is an entire self-contained campaign.
And then the other two are as well?
Yeah, because originally the other two were the so-called Squadron 42 mission discs, which was going to be like additional missions for the single-player campaign. But because of the crowdfunding, they later got extended into entirely owned campaigns.
Ah.
And they're not Squadron 42 episodes 1, 2, and 3. They're just Squadron 42 1, Squadron 42 2. And Squadron 42 3.
Yes.
It's like Star Wars Episode 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
They're using that naming because they're massive Star Wars nerds, and like everything about Star Citizen is based on Star Wars.
If they were massive Star Wars nerds, they would have started with Episode 4.
Yes.
Yeah. And...
Well, they did name it Squadron 42, so...
So what then happened was... when you buy a starter package, or a package on the Star Citizen website, it says you get Star Citizen or Squadron 42 digital download. This does not include Squadron 42 2 or Squadron 42 3, because they're actually completely different games. But that was but people who backed before the 6 million tier gets 2 and 3.
Fair enough.
And this, of course, was just a massive, confusing clusterfuck.
So people who backed $72 million ago.
Yeah.
Fine, everything's fine. All the
That's
people
where you-
after that.
That's a sentence.
Yeah.
That's an existing sentence.
Yeah,
Those
are words that have
It
been said.
confused everybody, and there was obviously people got correctly a bit mad about it.
Yeah,
But
I would.
I'm fine with the proposition that the two other campaigns are going to be paid for, because the game is already massive.
Yeah.
And we're talking about 2 full-sized campaigns.
Yeah.
Like, when they say full-size campaigns, they talk about, I think they're looking at like 50, 60 mission campaigns. That's gonna take like around 12 hours or something to complete.
Okay, that's fair. The problem is really they didn't communicate well enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's an
'cause-
issue they have with their website overall right now, that it's kind of a mess. But they have their Montreal studio is like their UI studio, are working on overhauling the entire website and unifying the entire design and information on there.
Good.
So all of those problems are being fixed. But CIG still fucked up in the communication in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if they had just... Because it's... What was it? You get the Squadron 42. It said, you get Squadron 42. Not Squadron 42, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Didn't say you get Squadron 42, 1, did it?
No, it only says
No,
you get
but
Squadron
apparently
42.
Okay.
Apparently the old ones said something like Squadron 42 plus mission discs.
Yes.
Yeah, but still, like,
Yeah,
the fact
it's-
that it's Squadron 42, 1, 2, and 3, and then saying you're getting Squadron 42 is like, oh, well, then that sounds like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they
Point.
just said... All you would have to do is say something like, you get Squadron 42, Episode 1.
Yeah, and it's like...
That's all.
It's good. It's also well to point out, like,
such a simple
the campaign 2 and 3 are post-game release content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as DLC.
Yeah.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
in this
also
case, it's
for
gonna
this
be
DLC
actual expansions, though.
up
It's
until
still DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
up until very recently, the game was listed on their website as Star Citizen 1.1.1.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
No,
that's
1.1.
like,
It was...
1.1. Okay.
There we
Well-
have another thing where they got a massive disagreement with the community. Is the version numbering.
It's an
So,
alpha. It's
they've-
not finished.
They've fixed
You
this
start at 1.
because now it's called Star Citizen Alpha 1.1.1.
Yeah.
That's not better.
It honestly, it is better. Because
At
now
least-
it
Yeah.
actually says alpha.
Yes. Alpha.
Yeah.
You can just put 0.
Yeah.
Dot.
Yeah.
Oh wait. I'm doing.
Put a 0 point and then an A at the end, and you're done.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's how everyone's done it up till now.
Yeah.
It's just like
You're
we
not
didn't.
special. You are not
No.
special.
The-
Well, I mean,
the-
you are because you have all
Yeah,
the
okay,
money.
fair enough.
Exactly.
But
You're not that special. You're
Play
still-
by the rules.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm not worried about this whole like campaign being its own, as I said, you're getting already a fuck ton of game out of that, like 50
Oh, yeah.
bucks price tag.
Yeah.
That's
it's just the communication issue.
Yeah,
that's
they-
less of a problem.
They
That makes
massively
total sense.
miscommunicated this thing,
Yeah.
and it's gonna. At
gonna
least
bite
they're
in the
fixing
arse.
it.
Again, though, it's the kind of thing like there seems to be a sort of culture of doing stuff and then fixing it after
Yeah.
people complain about it, rather than fixing it first.
Well, we live in the era of day one patches.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, here's a game. Okay, how does it need to be fixed? It's like, it's a released game. It should work.
Isn't there something called beta for these things that you do before you release a game?
And
Yeah.
I understand with some of the bigger developers, you've got pressure
Yeah.
on you. Make this game
That's-
go gold.
I mean,
like-
that's why it happens. That's,
Okay, so the game goes gold and they keep working on it and you get a day one patch. I don't begrudge major, like, little studios working for major developers who have to release a day one patch.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
maybe if your whole thing is just this one game that you're making, make it done and then don't do day one patch. But like I can understand where it's coming from on both sides.
Like otherwise we have issues like when Sniper Elite 3 came out on consoles, it had a day one 30 gig patch.
Excuse me.
Because
what you're telling me is there wasn't enough room on the disc for the game.
Yeah, exactly. That was the problem. They had one Blu-ray with the game on, and you had to download the rest.
What? I mean, I thought it was bad. I had to download 8 gigs for Destiny on my Xbox. I had to clean my I have a really old.
I mean, it doesn't beat.
It
doesn't beat the. I forget which game it was.
Oh yeah.
Was it? I think it was the Halo Master Chief Collection. Where you? No, it was Assassin's Creed Unity. Assassin's Creed Unity, where they fucked up the Xbox One patch, so the patch was the entire game.
Right. I remember this. Plus patch, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
just install this game. Put this disc in your system. And then
use it. Just put it in there.
And then download this disc.
They had this problem with Dragon Age Inquisition as well at the start, where it just you put in the disc and it's like, okay, now downloading from Origin. Excuse me. I had to look around on the internet to figure out how you could bypass that. I was like, I'm not downloading this game. I bought the disc in the goddamn store to prevent this.
I have this shiny circle.
Yes.
This shiny circle has the game on it. Or so
it was promised the thing.
No, I think for me as someone who nowadays only PC game, the idea of going to a store and buying a disc is completely it's a dead concept to me.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret, Lamb. It's a dead concept for me, and I console game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like when I played Jedi Academy on stream, I used my physical copy that I used to play my old computer, and I was like, this is really weird. Like, there's original Halo right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
I have an entire...
well back.
I have an entire cabinet there with a lot of video games in it. I don't even have an optical drive in my computer to actually use those discs.
Yeah.
Like,
I have an optical drive in my computer so I can install OSs.
Look.
Yeah,
you don't even need.
I know you could do a USB drive, but
look at it. There's like 60 games in there, and that's not
Open
including
it.
everything I have packed down.
he just opens it and just games pour out. And like, all right, well, this is now a 3-man show.
He's dead now. He drowned.
That's
Yeah.
oh yeah.
There's the CD launched in his eye.
Well, that's.
Yeah, I basically only ever buy the physical version of a game if there's something that comes with it that I want.
Yeah,
and I've reached that point in my life where I don't need another art book.
Or like a statue.
Okay. If there's a thing that I kind of want, it's art books because I love art books. But
I can find that art. I mean, it's looking through it in paper form is really nice, but I have so much clutter.
Yeah, it's essentially that in the end. It's like, I could buy it physically, but it's just gonna end up taking space and collecting dust.
It's getting to the point where they should just sell the art book and the other stuff separately.
Yeah.
From the.
There's games I don't want to play. I just want to have the art book.
Yeah.
Like, I own basically all the art books that ArenaNet has ever produced. Because a lot of my favorite concept artists work at ArenaNet. The developers of Guild Wars, for those who don't know that on top of the head.
I thought you were talking about Blizzard, but no.
No.
And then I realized that you didn't say Blizzard, so...
Yeah.
My brain sometimes... it's a bit slow.
Yeah, like, just talking about ridiculous and physical media, did I actually add any of the articles? No, I haven't actually linked anything in the document.
No.
You haven't added any articles.
But there was
we are professionals.
If we're talking about like just ridiculous with physical media, the new GTA 5 release for PC is going to be 7 discs.
But
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's like 7 Blu-rays.
Why?
Well,
something
I
like-
mean,
What,
it
is
is
it-
that game.
Yeah, it's
Imagine the download time.
it's
For
a
you
massive
guys, not
game.
for me, for you guys.
It's like, well, start downloading.
Even
Smash
at my
cut
100
to
megabits
skeleton.
down, it's still going to be.
Okay, yeah, okay. That you have faster speed than I do.
3 minutes.
It's
later.
like
Yeah, I have 110 is what I'm.
that.
looking
That
at,
that is a big game. It was already like 2 Blu-ray discs on console.
Jesus.
It's
7. Like, that's gonna take forever to. It's like, okay.
no, I don't think it.
number
No, it's
one,
not even like 7 Blu-ray
two,
discs. That was stupid.
three.
It's like it's 7 regular discs, because if they
Oh,
do
yeah, that makes
Blu-ray,
sense. Yeah.
nobody could like half of the people couldn't actually
Okay,
install it because
alright.
people
Yeah,
don't
because
have
they don't
Blu-ray.
have Blu-ray
this
drives.
one, so.
Yeah,
All right, sure. Yeah.
it's,
That makes
but it's
more
still
sense.
just
But still.
stupidly ridiculous.
Uh,
Option, but yeah.
Ugh.
yeah.
Why? It's
Why
that
is-
that
oh,
is the
thing-
reason why I don't want to buy physical media, because I could just put my credit card into my CD slot, because that's how it
Yeah,
works,
there you go.
and then
That's,
just
yes,
buy it on
yes, keep doing
Steam,
that.
click a button that says download,
And then just.
and then I can leave my computer on overnight, and then I can play it in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just. It just seems kind of wasteful as well. It's like 7 discs.
Yeah.
Well,
Per
we
game.
need to remember that we're very much into gaming, so we're the kind of
True.
people who just know what the word Steam means. Other than an outdated energy
Well,
source.
if someone plays on PCs, they know what Steam is.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. I mean, if somebody plays more than 2 games a year on a PC, then yes.
Yeah.
I can understand why they're doing this, and I'm guessing it's going to be around for a long while, but the supplies are going to drop at that.
I actually, going back to Star Citizen, they've actually talked about, because there's going to be a retail release of Star Citizen, they've talked about
Obviously.
how the Star Citizen's retail release won't even have discs in it.
Oh yeah, I heard
Right.
that.
Because the
Yeah,
game
I
is so
remember this.
big, they'll probably just have a USB drive or something in
Yeah.
it instead. And it's not even
makes
going to be
sense.
like the entire
Yeah.
game, it's going to be like a starter package, and you still have to like download the rest.
Yep.
And afterwards, you have a USB drive.
Yeah.
They're just going to ship you like an external hard drive with the game on it.
Yeah.
They'll
So,
just
there
send you a
go.
PC. It's already installed. Here you go. It's probably the cheapest way of doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they haven't confirmed anything at all, but they've said that they're looking into it, and there's a big chance it won't be CDs.
Fair
Well-
enough. CDs are kind of running at they're running out of time.
I mean, I assume you mean
Yeah, like-
DVDs, because CDs, there would be
Ah,
a
yeah.
lot more of those.
just like a big.
they,
No,
they just send you a
floppy
spindle.
drive.
Yeah, I just
One of the
want
old school spindles, and it just says.
I still have one of those small one.
also
Yeah.
like talk about preloaded PCs. Someone's gonna do that.
I know.
Yeah.
What's
sure.
the joke?
Like when you
No,
buy
that-
like
Have to.
some
Serious.
a lot of like these like high end gaming computer manufacturers will actually have when you like customize, you can select stuff that will be preloaded on the PC. There would be like Alienware selling Star Citizen computers, because
Yeah,
they basically already do that.
Well, because you need to upgrade so much to even play the bloody thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to build a whole new rig for it. Anyway,
I'm luckily enough, I only have to upgrade basically my graphics card and my RAM.
Yeah.
And
But
those are things I want to
There's
upgrade
a market.
anyways. So
Yeah, I mean there's a market for that. It's like I just want to play. Here's the console. It's not a console. It's a PC with the game on it. It's like there you go. It's like console bundles,
yeah,
but
Yeah.
for PCs.
and honestly, we still don't know how actually intensive the game is going to be, because it's in its state,
No.
it's almost completely unoptimized. Actually, like the latest patch included some of the first like optimizations,
Yeah.
but we have no clue how well the optimized the final product is going to be, because it's also going to be running on like DirectX 12 instead,
right,
as opposed
yeah.
to DirectX 11. Which
Yeah.
again, we don't actually know what the big performance impact of that will be.
We'll never know.
No.
We'll
But
never
I
find
think
out.
we're overdue for another break, so we're gonna go
Yeah.
on a small little break, and then we'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial,
There's the
because
dial?
you probably don't have one.
I've got. I can twisty bob my mic stand.
Oh no, I have dials on my mic. Ah, yes, I can touch. I'm touching all of the
Wait.
dials.
I have some on my box set, on my audio set. Yeah. No, I'm doing it with my feet. You can't see
You
it, but I'm
can't.
doing it with my feet.
All
You
right,
can't stop me.
break time. Hi. Hi.
But
Hello.
Hi.
There are
Hello,
no more
friend.
glasses. We are
Hi.
forming a front.
Yeah. Okay, so
People's front of Judea.
like while we're still on
Oh,
video
God.
games, a quick mention to a game I've been looking forward to for the better part of a year now. Killing Floor 2 is coming out the 21st of
yes.
April on early access. So excited, and it's gonna be something we definitely play on this channel like a lot.
Can you briefly explain to the viewers what Killing Floor is, if they don't know already?
Yeah. So Killing Floor is, you know, like that horde game mode they put into like every game ever nowadays.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that, but its own game, and like actually has some depth to it, and is
Very
really
British.
polished and good.
Mm-hmm.
And the second game is basically gonna be that, but better in every way. And it's also gonna be like a massive gun porn simulator. Because they're gonna have all. What did it say? It was like all their gun animations are rendered at like 100. No, it's like even more. It's like 240 FPS. So when they go into slow motion, you can see every single movement of the gun.
Oh, that makes sense. I was gonna say why.
Sure. Yeah. Why not? Got your double block.
It's I'm looking forward to it. I wanna play that game, and it's gonna be. We're gonna play it on Survivor TV. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I figured.
So, sources are informing me that there are 95 death animations for each zombie in Killing Floor 2 as well.
Yeah.
You mean
That seems excessive.
you mean Survivor TV, that channel that always goes when I'm at work.
Yeah.
I feel like you've engineered that just so I can mod your chat sometimes.
Listen, we all have to deal with time zones, HP.
My time zone is Merc.
Yeah.
Wait, that's one time zone?
Yeah. America Standard Time.
Right.
Freedom
So,
o'clock all of the time.
Let's talk about what's happened in science.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes. I'll grab my
Science.
science. So,
Science.
being
Right.
a science communication graduate,
Oh.
I figured I'd bring a bit of my own thing to that. And let's get the obvious one out of the way. The Brontosaurus is back.
Don't call it a
Yeah. It's back.
comeback. Been here the whole time.
Anyway, yes, you're
The
right.
McRib is back. No, the Brontosaurus.
Wait.
That's what McRibs are made for.
Wait, do you have
Three
a
things
Brontosaurus?
only available for
Yeah!
limited time: the McRib, the Shamrock Shake, and the Brontosaurus.
Exactly.
I'd participate in Jurassic Parks.
Oh god, that would be yeah. So basically, what happened is that how these things are decided is that they take bones, they find dinosaurs, and they just put them together and like, okay, are these the same species or not? This is a very it's not exactly like that. It's far more complicated, but that's basically what they're doing. And originally, the Brontosaurus was first discovered in 1879 by a certain O.C. Marsh, and well, he called it the Brontosaurus. And the interesting part is, and I started digging into the history of the Brontosaurus, and I found this really interesting. This happened during something called the Bone Wars.
Nice. I like
It's-
Bone Wars.
I think
Bone
HP
Wars.
is
So
doing
Are you
what?
ready for the skeleton war?
Nah.
So, what this was, and I was reading, is like, yeah, this is science. This is how I look at science. And so there was an intense war, basically, between this Marsh guy and a certain Edward Drinker Cope, who were doing intensive fossil speculation discovery, and they were discovering species after species after species. They were digging up these things, and they were going at each other very underhandedly. Bribery, theft, destruction of bones, just to get ahead of the other one. They were going as far as disgracing each other in their papers, trying to cut the other's funding. And this is very, I've seen this more often in science. It's not that rare. It doesn't happen all the time, but it has happened before.
Yeah.
Scientists trying to discredit each other.
Yeah.
I mean, we could
dare
just
you to tell that to Edison and Tesla.
Yeah.
we could just go very recent thing is the whole like British and American scientists fighting over who found like that big key to maybe curing cancer.
Yeah.
Or like some sort
one.
of cancer research.
It was from a few years ago. Like a British lab found something, and then they sent it to an American lab to verify, and then the American lab released it as their discovery.
Ooh.
No, bad.
That happened with more. That's happened before. If you ever want to read more about these kinds of dramas, I recommend Bill Bryson's Brief History of Nearly Everything. There's a lot of these stories in there.
Yeah,
it's a great book.
I think. Yeah, I remember. I remember that. Yeah.
So, funny story. That actually ended with them both financially and socially ruined. Those two guys.
But we got the Brontosaurus out of it.
We got 142 new species, but only 32 of them are still valid. But
Yay!
still, it's 32. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's how the Brontosaurus started its life, and it got cut down like I think 30 years later when some Elmer Riggs, some guy named Elmer Riggs, basically looked at the bones and realized, or at least concluded that no, this is actually an adult version. The Brontosaurus is an adult version of a different dinosaur we've already found. So the Brontosaurus was cut and got stuffed into the group called the Apatosaurus.
Yeah.
And that's basically where it's been for the last 100 years.
Yeah,
Until very recently.
Yeah.
Because you always heard it like Brontosaurus isn't real; it's just an Apatosaurus.
Yeah. And
that is not true.
But actually, so there's a new research done by T-Shop. I'm going to butcher these names. Matheus and Benson. Okay, maybe not the last one. And they used a lot of statistical analysis that I didn't go into because, holy crap, that article is long.
Oh,
Jesus.
Science.
I looked that up. And I've read a lot of science. Apparently, this is open access.
Okay.
And apparently, if that also means they cut the length limits on articles, I've read a lot of articles. This is the longest I've ever seen. I don't know if this is normal for paleontology. Could be. But currently, it's the Brontosaurus excelsus is back. It's its own species again. And it also got two friends, actually, according to their research, with the Brontosaurus parvus and the Brontosaurus yanapian.
So we got three Brontosauruses.
Yeah. We've upgraded.
For the price
there are
of
now
one.
3 in that group.
That's
But,
cool.
yeah.
Pluto, unfortunately, was unable to be reached out to for comments.
Pluto's still pissed.
Yeah. It's like, no, it's important to me.
Yeah, but I like how everybody's like, the Brontosaurus is back. Technically not, because this research has found these connections, and it's now going to be to see if the rest of the scientific community accepts that or not.
Yeah, you always get this a lot in like the sort of more general interest, like popular science, like headlines. It's like X has been discovered. X is cure for cancer. It's like no, some research is pointing towards thing and it hasn't gone to trial. It's not been. It's looking in the right direction.
The Brontosaurus
Nothing
is
has been
teasing a possible comeback tour.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's good description. Yeah.
Didn't something similar happen with? Was it
Prince?
I think it, no. Well, yes.
It was
The
part of
dinos-
Spain for a while, but
Yeah.
they figured out that wasn't the case.
No, I was thinking of another dinosaur because I think you had Triceratops and
Yeah.
another like frilled horned dinosaur that they thought might actually there was a separate species for a while and they thought might be a younger version of Triceratops.
Could be.
I think there was something like that, but yeah, this seems to be like it's got to be such a hard job to be like, is this
Yeah.
dinosaur a new dinosaur or an older version of this dinosaur? Because
I mean-
you've got they're so similar. Otherwise,
Yeah, you got to work with totally different things. I mean, I have a background in biology, and it's pretty simple. There, can they get kids, and can those kids get kids? That's the only requirement to be in the same species.
can't do that with dinosaurs.
Yep. Or,
I'm-
horses and donkeys.
No, but those actually, they get kids, but the kids they get can't have kids themselves.
Yeah,
They're different species still.
That's what I mean. I was
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Describing.
corroborating.
Yeah.
Mhm. Brontosaurus is back with friends. Is the upshot of all of that? I guess.
Tentatively.
Yeah, he may be back.
So, what's more happening in science?
Hubble's turning 25
Ooh,
in this month.
All right.
Nice.
It was launched in April 24th, 1990.
I mean, speaking about Elite,
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say, but can you
I
actually?
think I
can
picked
you,
that one out specifically for you guys because I knew space was gonna. I knew I had to put at least one space story in there.
Can you find the Hubble telescope in Elite?
Hubble, I wouldn't think so. It probably would have been degraded by solar radiation by that point.
Yeah.
How far ahead in the future is Elite?
Like
1,000 years?
I
Something like
think it's 2303 or something like that. So it's
that. Probably fine.
I don't actually remember though. You can go out and see the Voyager probe though.
wait, let me check.
In the place it would be in the right time.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, so Hubble's
it's
25. You can't. Can you find it? Is it not a thing?
it seems to be around 3,200 or something.
Oh, it's 3301 apparently.
yeah.
It's,
Sources say.
my mic. There goes my thing.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you know what's
Okay.
fun? Fun fact about the Hubble. It's like, have you ever, like, people say that we can get a great picture of a galaxy or like a nebula, nebula with the Hubble, but why can't we just point it at Pluto and get a good picture of it? It's like that comes up a lot when you talk to people about science. It's like because
Probably too close.
yeah, and it's like resolution is set for very, very big things
Mhm.
far away, and
Yeah.
like it is actually way too close. But yeah, I'm a Hubble fan. I'm excited for the James Webb Telescope. Better go up soon, damn it! That's been in
Hubble
trouble.
needs friends.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
Well, they were going to put it out at Lagrange point 1 or 2, I think. Like
Okay.
so, like even further out than Hubble, and like in basically a stable point in not in orbit around Earth, but in like a point in Earth's orbit where it would basically be co-orbit. I think it's something like that. It's very far away, and
I understand Lagrange points are weird. That's about as
Yeah.
far as I know about them.
Yeah.
that's where they would put the James Webb Telescope. So who knows? Maybe one day that will turn 25 too.
Indeed. Let's hope.
And actually, the Hubble actually joins us on the glasses front because the Hubble actually has spectacles.
Yeah.
Because when they launched it, the mirror
They-
wasn't exactly right.
Yeah.
We just spent billions of
Put a
dollars to
thing
put
on
a
it.
telescope in space. We forgot the lens.
No, actually, what happened was they had the main mirror. They made that and they checked it with equipment, and then they checked it with specifically built equipment for that, and they didn't correctly build that last bit of equipment. So there was a slight. It was off by I think it was 2200 nanometers.
Yeah.
Which when you're augmenting that to taking pictures of other galaxies,
It's like,
That made a difference.
yeah.
it
It was
would.
a lot blurry. And there was a lot of going back and forth how they were going to fix that. There was the idea of Kodak sending up a replacement mirror, but they'd either have to get Hubble down, replace the mirror there, put it back up, which was way too expensive.
It's like, just put a new
Yeah,
one
you
up.
have to get
but that
your
costs-
giant expensive telescope back down without it burning up.
Exactly.
Well, like, you have the cost of launching a rocket to get back the thing and then launching another rocket. So it's like, just build another one and launch that will be like half the price.
Yeah. And the other idea was to bring the a replacement mirror up, but that was way too dangerous to fix in orbit, apparently.
Yeah.
So what they basically did was like, okay, this thing is off by this amount. Fine, we're replacing all the smaller bits to be off by that amount the other way around to compensate. So it's basically wearing glasses.
Nice.
Put a big contact lens on the front of it. There we go.
Something like that.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can thank Hubble for Elite.
Basically.
And just basically all space games, because that's...
Well, that is a good selling point about, like, coming back to Elite again, but whatever. It's like a good selling
So
point
well
for
known.
it is that it's a one-to-one recreation of our galaxy.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a fantasy kind of thing. It's like, no, these are like stars backed up by actual like star charts. And is it right that when they find extra solar planets, when they're discovered, they will be patched into Elite Dangerous?
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
So yeah, as they get discovered, it gets populated with more and more actual real world stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's big selling point of Elite. It's just sad that it has all the other problems we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
In slightly more down to earth science news, I was reading about the other day. There's been a huge, well, maybe not a huge breakthrough, and I don't mean this as a pun, but there's been a breakthrough in nanotech. They've successfully made a computer that can take pictures and measure temperature that fits on the edge of a nickel.
I see.
Machines.
There it is.
Yeah.
Nanomachines.
It's University of Michigan. It's the one who designed it, and I believe it's called the M3, or M to the third, or M cubed. I don't actually know how it's said. It's M, the little up symbol, and a 3.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
M to the third.
M to the third.
M cubed.
And it's very, very tiny. They have a picture of it on the side of a nickel, and because it can't take a mouse or
Scrolling.
a keyboard or a display, it's programmed with strobe lights.
Huh.
Wow.
Which is so crazy to me. And their whole thing with it is it has to do with miniaturizing technology. The main issue with it is battery life.
Oh, right.
And battery size. Like if, a cell phone, 70% of this phone is the battery. But if they can get past those hurdles, they can get them smaller and smaller and smaller. And their eventual goal is a computer that is 100 nanometers on a side. Because that's how small you have to be to put a computer in a cell.
Oh, interesting.
So it's
Interesting.
and the computers in cells, the nanomachines idea, that's opens up a whole thing. I mean, we talked about Deus Ex earlier, and there's the whole augmenting thing, but there's also just like if there's a computer that you can put in your blood cells to monitor them, catching things like disease and cancer becomes hugely more proactive because you can catch it before there's any external signs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is something that I would like. It's a really awesome thing that they're getting this far on it, and with the advances we've made in other areas like battery technology. We keep making smaller, more flexible, more efficient batteries. Like, we might see nanotechnology in our lifetime, which is just crazy to think of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already crazy to think of what we have accomplished just, since the 80s.
Yeah. It's been 30 years, and
we're currently doing a podcast with people from different parts of the world.
Yeah.
Streamed live to the internet.
Yeah. And here in my hand, I have a machine that's about 1,000 times more powerful than the computer used to land on the moon.
To land on the moon, you just need to do basic math.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's not that hard.
It's not hard, but it's still.
Let me just say, CantWearHats, it's math. I would never classify it as basic.
You can do. They did it with slide rules and
exactly.
It's math you can do on paper. I can't do it.
It's very basic. It's very basic computing, but it's still. This is way more powerful than the supercomputers NASA used.
Yeah.
In my hand, and I use it to look at cat pictures.
What a time to be alive. The one that always blows my mind is like storage space. So you look at micro SD cards. They can go. What is their maximum size now? They're like in gigabyte range, like 32 gig. I think you can get like a
micro SD. I know you can get a 32. I think you can get larger. Like 32 is consumer.
They're like the size of a fingernail, and they can store 32 gigabytes on it. And you consider that, like, I had a phone for years that was way too old. It's like a tiny little candy bar type phone. And that used micro SD, and I thought that was really neat that it could store 128 megabytes on it.
Yeah,
it's like this one does 36 gig.
Just looking at Amazon right now, there's one I can order for $95 that's 128 gigs on Amazon. So I guarantee you there are better ones out there.
Hey, remember?
That's just insane.
Hey, remember when games started reaching like the 1 gig size point, and everyone was like, "What? Why are games so large?"
Because storage capacity so large.
It's because they have to. Yeah. And they have to animate all the women, and it's far too difficult.
And now we're doing all the circling back to Star Citizen. They've talked about sizes over 100 gigs for that game,
which you could fit on a micro SD card.
Yes, exactly.
They should just give you a micro SD card with the game on it.
Do you have a micro SD card reader on your PC?
No.
Yes, actually. But that's beside the point.
No, I don't.
No.
Well, I have an SD card reader and an adapter.
Hey, my old computer that I was using up until like a year ago had a floppy drive still, so...
Yeah,
and I mean...
Hey, Star Citizen on floppies.
Like a truckload of floppies.
So that's when you just ride Star Citizen floppies to the moon.
Yeah.
They just keep stacking them underneath you, and you go to space.
Yeah.
This is going to take a while.
It's amazing just how far we got in storage for...
The funny thing is, it's
10 years.
This is what keeps happening. This is only going to keep happening until, I mean, we keep reaching like technological barriers and being like, okay, we can't get any smaller than this. It's like, wait, yes, you can.
I mean, what's the is it Moore's law?
Yeah, I think
it's Moore's law.
Over a certain amount of time, 10 years or whatever, computer power will double.
Yeah.
And the only way you can do that is if your ability to store that data gets larger. And there's a term I only know because of Destiny, which is the Bekenstein limit, which is the most data you can physically put into a space before you cause a black hole.
Yeah. And also like your processor size as well. Like that gets smaller and smaller and smaller, so you can fit more power onto the same size. Let's say.
Yeah.
And, and also like your processor size as well. Like that gets smaller and smaller and smaller, so you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can fit more power onto the same size. So you can it always makes me like going on a slight tangent, but the stuff that's come out recently with technology, like you've seen the Apple Watch has been a big thing the past couple of days, this past week or so. It's like whenever Apple announces a new phone, it's like here's our new phone. It's more powerful, it's slimmer, and it's slightly better. It's like, yeah, that's how technology works. That's not a big deal.
Here's our new point on the existing bell curve that you already knew about.
I mean, if we want to talk about just things getting just progressively, or even aggressively more powerful, the new generation of graphics card that both AMD and NVIDIA are working on, have changed their memory technology to something called stacked memory, which is instead of doing the old style of horizontally to the memory planes stuff. They're instead started stacking memory on top of each other, which they make cubes of memory, and that increases the bandwidth on the memory and the memory capacity by ridiculous amounts.
If I took up the same amount of physical space on my motherboard, like the same usable real estate, with a bunch of cubes instead of sticks, that's easily quadruple the memory size, even with the same transistor level, like the same number of things in a given space.
Yeah, that's the exact same idea that both NVIDIA and AMD is working on. And the big thing this is going to benefit is the rise of VR gaming.
Is that just because you need a shit ton of RAM to make that work?
Yeah, the resolution is almost entirely VRAM bound.
Right.
So to do like stuff like 4K gaming and stuff, which is also like a thing that's on the rise now, because it's the next step in just computer fidelity. Is 4K. Is you need that extra RAM and you need that extra bandwidth in your graphics card to actually render that efficiently.
Yeah.
What do you guys like? Is that something that you're excited? Like, is it going to reach a point at which it's like it's the highest fidelity it can be, and the game is photorealistic or it's really realistic? Yeah. Is it just going to stop at some point? Is it going to get to that point?
Well, when it comes to resolution, I think the ceiling they put, like you can go higher, but 8K is the limit where you won't see a difference with the human eye.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless you like actually like zoom in into the image and like look at like 1,000 times and look at every individual pixel, you're not going to see a difference once you get to 8K.
So at some point we're going to hit that ceiling, and you're going to hit some kind of ceiling with like graphics and fidelity and everything looking like super real, so you can make a super realistic looking game.
Yeah.
Is that gonna? I don't know. I think that I'm interested because that might just mean you see more stylized gaming.
Which happening. I would like to see. I really enjoy stylized games. It's also going to mean that like once they reach that point, they're like, well, we can't really make it any better visually.
They're going to try.
Yeah,
they're going to try, but eventually they're going to like see a diminishing return on the graphics. Yeah. That's when you start getting a lot more people focusing on the physics.
That's the thing, though. That's what it looks like Valve is doing currently with their new generation of Source 2 and their new in-house physics engine called Rubicon. They're focusing more on the advanced physics part of the entire thing. I believe it was the Dark Souls lead designer, Dark Souls and Bloodborne and all that.
Bloodborne.
Who said that the next step for video games shouldn't be better graphics, it should be advanced physics.
Yeah.
Because we've had about the same physics fidelity in games since Half-Life 2. It's been about the same. It's been basically the exact same physics interactions. But it looks now with the Rubicon and stuff that they're doing things that will be way more complicated and stuff like you'll see more like fully destructible environments and like terraformable terrains and stuff like that.
Nice.
And
Sweet.
it's basically because Havoc didn't do what Valve wants it to do, so Valve made their own solution. Like everything
Havoc
Valve
physics.
is doing right now.
So wait, it's back to that Valve sort of ethos of, oh, nothing out there does what we want. Let's
Yeah.
make
Do
it.
it ourselves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So did we have any more science news? RedNightmare?
Just some stories about head transplant, but you're probably
Oh
not
god!
interested in that.
Oh, that's freaky.
Take
Weird.
head, put head
Well,
on
no,
other
no,
body.
no. If CantWearHats were to get a head transplant, would he then be able to wear hats?
No, just whatever body
Because he'd
his
have the
head
same
would go
head.
on. Yeah, like your head is where your brain lives, so you would go to wherever the new body is. So I'd still not be able to wear hats.
Yep.
God damn it! What is science even for?
What if you just got some sort of like upper skull and scalp transplant?
That's just crazy talk. Now
No,
you're
like,
just
It's way more sane than the head
that's
transplants.
ridiculous.
No,
That-
but
Yeah.
there's
I haven't read too much about that, but why is that like something that they need to do? Like, what
diseases mostly, as far as I can see. That's the most important reason that they're working on it right now.
So, like, if the rest of your body is completely effed and there is another... It's weird because, like, you can do it... Like, an organ transplant makes sense to me because you can take the organ out, you can freeze it, you can do what you need to do to keep it, you know, healthy or keep it viable, and then transplant it. An entire body? Or, like, that... How does that work? That just... I
Well,
don't know.
I'm glad you asked.
Aha!
I like to do that. Basically, as they're theorizing it right now, is that it be similar system. You cool the body and the head to such an extent that it could survive extended lack of oxygen.
Okay.
And then you link up vessels and you line up nerve attachments and then use something called polyethylene glycol to that's pretty new stuff that they're not entirely sure if it's going to work to promote the reattachment of nerves.
Right.
And I think the patient would then have to be in coma for 4 weeks.
Wow.
And yeah.
So
But
wait,
there's-
the patient, the donor, or the person whose head would be
Well, at
taken
that
out?
point, the entire person
Well,
would be
I think what Hats is asking is, if somebody's been in a coma for 4 weeks, are they fair game?
Yeah. Is that what that's...
That's actually one thing that doesn't get mentioned. I was curious, like, where are you going to get a fully functioning
Yeah.
body from? The head part I get. That's somebody, I mean, the volunteer, there's a volunteer now for the first operation, but I'm like,
More
where are
power
you
to
going to
them,
get
you
a
know?
fully functioning body from?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like you could have... If someone's in, I don't know, a car accident, then then their lungs or their like heart might be okay, but their lower
Yeah.
body might be fucked. But that's... How else are you going to get a functioning body? Like an entire
also-
body?
It's probably not something that's going to be common.
No, I would imagine not. That's gonna
I'm
have...
guessing. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's gonna fuck them up psychologically as well.
That's actually the interesting part. That was the part that really caught my eye, is actually that a lot of people were, a few doctors were saying, yeah, the worst case that could happen is that the body rejects it and the person just dies because it's just a head. You can't survive.
This isn't
That's-
Futurama.
That's the best case scenario, actually.
If things go wrong.
That's
Best
the
case.
best case.
That's the
Yeah.
best case. Because somebody pointed out, I mean, what would happen if you get completely different impulses than your brain is used to and completely different body chemistry than your brain is used to
Yeah.
from the host body? That could completely drive you insane.
Well, not even that. It's like not even just different chemistry. Like knowing that your body, like everything from the neck down,
Isn't
isn't you. But it is. But it's not your body. It's not your arms, your legs. Yeah, like
Ah.
that's
too,
gotta
actually,
be
that- weird.
Yeah.
But
that would drive you crazy.
There's I guess some precedent for that. You could look at there'd be some some similarities to people who get eye transplants.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
It's
It's like
somewhere in the same ballpark.
I'm pretty sure
Not really, but
people do go through this with existing transplants. Like, if you get like a hand transplant, I think has been
that's
done.
the thing, probably.
Or something like even like organ transplants or something. It's like I know that part of me isn't me, so that already happens. And when it's only a part of them, if it's like everything from the neck down, it's like that's gotta mess.
That's a horror movie waiting to be written.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's a horror movie that may already exist.
Yeah,
that's an
probably.
probably.
Existential crisis right there.
Also, the guy that gave the TED talk about this, what was his name?
Dr. Sergio Canavero.
Thank you. That guy looks like a freaking Bond villain. The way he talks to that TED Talk's like, I think he might actually be an evil supervillain.
He kind of does.
Yeah. When you hear him talk, it's like
I know it's just the mic, but when you watch
and also the accent.
when you watch the TED video, there's a wire that comes up and it looks like it goes into the back of his head.
But
wow.
it's the way he talks. It's the choice of his words that just. All the bells ring in my head when I heard that. It's like, I'm getting uncomfortable, and it's not the accent, and it's not the thing you're talking about. It's your choice of words.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll happen.
That's super. That's really fascinating, but kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
That's my read on it.
Just to segue into our little small final bit. Speaking about horror.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I don't.
Fox News, or not Fox News,
Oh.
Fox, as in the
I'm horrified already.
Fox, the part of Fox that makes TV and movies, is making a Rocky Horror television remake.
Oh God.
Which brings me in on what I'm going to talk about now. Is what's up with this constant fascination lately of making TV show remakes of classic old movies?
It's
Too risky, otherwise.
it speaks to the nature of remake culture as well,
Yeah,
which has to do a lot with the people who grew up watching these movies are making the movies now.
That too.
Yeah,
That's
because
why
we
Jurassic Park movie.
had Netflix's Dawn Till Dusk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I never
Yeah.
actually saw the Netflix From Dusk Till Dawn.
I've actually not seen it either, but I know it exists. But that brings me in on what I'm actually going to talk about, which is something I'm slightly excited about, like cautiously optimistically, because it's one based upon one of my favorite movies of all time. Ash vs. the Evil Dead is a remake, kind of like the TV sequel remake thing coming out soon, with actual Bruce Campbell playing Ash Williams.
that's always
See that?
good. That's always good. Get the original
Yeah,
people
it
helps.
involved. Yeah,
Yeah. And
like
it had its first graphical trailer. It looks pretty decent. I'm cautiously optimistic about it.
yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about certain remakes. It's weird because, as someone's pointed out, I'm reading the chat because I don't live by
Shame
your
on you.
rules. But someone pointed out in the chat that remakes are not a new thing. Like the Maltese
No.
Falcon has been adapted 3 times.
Exactly.
But what gets me is there are remakes and reboots of franchises that only existed as movies, like Ghostbusters, or even just continuations of old movie series from the 90s. Here's another Jurassic Park movie. It's like,
Oh, here's another Star Wars.
yeah, it's.
But
I don't know how I feel about
it's more. What I guess what's more weird to me is they're not remaking the old classic blockbuster movies. They're remaking the cult midnight
stuff.
screening movies.
Good
They're remaking.
point.
They're remaking Evil Dead 2 and Rocky Horror.
Yeah, I think that has to do
Yeah.
with the fact that we live in an age of people who will buy DVDs or buy a digital movie.
True.
And Netflix.
And
Yeah.
Netflix.
We'll
Yeah.
just sit down.
I want to see what happens with the Rocky Horror movie or the new show. I think it's probably gonna be an abomination amongst the original themes of that.
Yeah.
How do you stretch that?
Yeah.
Part of my day job is marketing, though, and it's something we talk about all the time. We don't live in the age of widespread marketing anymore. Like, traditional media still tries to do it, and they hit a home run sometimes with stuff like Avengers.
Yeah.
But in general, in media, because there's 5,000 channels and nothing on, you don't try and make something that appeals to everybody. You try and make something that appeals to passionate people.
Yeah.
And so you target your remake at the people who love this cult thing because you know those people get passionate about something and are willing to support it.
Yeah,
Good point.
I can see that. It's kind of the same problem I have with Deus Ex. It's like I want to see more new things. Really, it's like I've seen this movie. It's like also we talked about this was in chat, but like the extended universe of Star Wars, they threw all that out to make the new movies. They're like, we're going to do our own thing, but those books are still there, and you can still go and read them. So it's like you can remake. It kind of goes both ways because it's like you can remake this movie, but the original movie is still there, and you can go watch it. But the original movie's still there. You don't need to remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
Yeah, it's weird. I can see the appeal of the Evil Dead TV show because I'm a big Evil Dead fan. I'm also a big Rocky Horror fan, but
Isn't Rocky Horror one of those things where people will go to screenings of it in
Callbacks
character
are
and like
huge,
dress up? Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
what I
the
heard.
weird it's not gonna work. It's
that's
my first reaction to that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Does
think
it-
that's the disconnect, though, between old and new media,
Yeah.
is they realize they have to target these smaller groups.
Yeah.
They don't know how to do it.
because
Exactly.
it seems to me that as someone who hasn't really seen Rocky Horror too much, but I know that it was a musical
Yes.
or like a musical
Yes.
and a film, which are both things that you sit down and watch in one go. It's not episodic. It's not like
Here's
it's an
the thing.
experience.
I didn't even think about the musical part. How are they gonna do that
Christ.
as a TV show?
They sing?
The only reason I pray that it has any sort of success is so that we can get a Dr. Horrible show.
All right.
But that's neither here nor
Well,
there.
That's
Joss Whedon has said he's been working on like a Dr. Horrible 2 for years.
again, that's a continuation of the same thing.
yeah.
That's not a remake or like a reboot. That's more of that,
yeah.
which isn't as bad. And again, someone in chat said it's like if I'm passionate about something, I want that thing, not the knockoff version.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which some of these things do feel like.
that's the disconnect for
Like
sure.
it's this movie. It won't have like Susan Sarandon. It won't have Tim Curry. It won't have who else was in Rocky Horror. Like it won't have any of those people.
Richard O'Brien.
Yeah, Richard O'Brien.
There you go. Crystal Maze. British people will know what I'm talking about. Start the fans, please.
I could
pretty sure I have
I could see them getting some of those people back in other roles because a decent number of those people didn't really go on to have much of a career.
I don't think Tim Curry would do it. Honestly,
I seriously doubt he would.
he became fat because he didn't want to do more Rocky Horror.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
If I remember,
Then
if I
they
remember
referenced
correctly,
it in his episode of Psych anyway.
yeah,
Well,
if I remember correctly, it was actually the reason he became fat so he wouldn't be cast in more Frankenfurter roles.
fair enough.
Wow.
Hey, look, of all the reasons you want to give yourself, if you want a reason to get fat, that's a pretty good one.
I'll give that one to you.
Right. So we're actually approaching the end. So we're gonna just I guess gonna say goodbye now.
Oh, one thing. Oh, actually, before we go, bit of breaking news that I've just seen. So we were talking about superhero movies earlier.
Yes.
Spider-Man is back in the hands of Marvel, kind of co-sharing with Sony.
Yep.
They've now confirmed, Kevin Feige, or how you pronounce his name, I think that's how you pronounce it, has confirmed it will be Peter Parker, and it will be high school Spider-Man. Again. So
that's interesting.
So we want to play Spider-Man in the high school years because, frankly, there's been 5 Spider-Man films. The amazing thing about it is, even though there's been 5 Spider-Man films, there are so many things in the comics that haven't been done yet.
Yes.
Like, most obvious being
this is one of those things that has been done a lot.
Yeah, the young, doesn't quite fit in kid before his powers, and then the fella puts on the mask and swings around, fights bad guys, doesn't shut up. Apparently we haven't done that, despite the fact that I'm pretty sure I've seen that movie 3 times.
The upside is I do like I knew it was going to be Peter Parker because of when they're first introducing the character.
Yeah.
Which is in Civil War.
I was hoping for more that it was going to be they're going to introduce Peter Parker and then just push him out of the way to like go with Miles Morales or someone, because Peter Parker has been done to death.
Yeah. I don't see even Marvel being ready to take the dive on Miles Morales yet, though.
Yeah. Anyway, that was something I spotted while I was just having a look at things in Broken. Like, that might be relevant.
All right, enough. Well, let's wrap this up.
That's weird. I was having problems, but it's all fine now. Hello.
Yeah, you had some audio. I wasn't sure if it was only on my end, but
I think my Skype is giving me grief.
Your Skype is Skyping.
We're at the end anyway. So.
Intended.
Yep.
That's good.
All right. So, let's do the rounds. Tell us where people can find us, what we do. Yeah. CantWearHats
first.
Hey, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at CantWearHats. I will be streaming more Alien Isolation on Monday. I may actually do a bonus stream tomorrow because a friend gifted me a game on Steam that I want to play. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I'll be back with more Alien Isolation, and we're going to keep playing that next week. Be a fun time.
Yeah. HPBraincase.
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at HPBraincase. I will also be streaming more Alien Isolation. Going to be continuing that with JR tomorrow. And on Monday I'll be continuing my playthrough of the Talos Principle, so if you love philosophy, watch that. And spoiler alert, if you love Mickey Mouse voices, watch that. Because I've decided that in order to keep myself sane, I'll be reading all of the philosophy in Mickey Mouse's voice.
How does that keep you sane?
The measure of a man is not what's inside him, but the decisions he chooses to make.
That's
God.
Shit, Mickey.
Yeah.
Gosh, Mickey, you're full of shit.
And then, Red Nightmare.
Yes, I'm Red Nightmare. I am RedNightmare7 on Twitch. I'm Vidalcan in Tree on Twitter because Vidalcan Treehouse didn't fit. I will be streaming on Sunday again. I'll be probably finishing up To the Moon, and if there's time left, I'll be playing some I Am Bread. And I won't be streaming the week afterwards because of a birthday, but afterwards we'll see whatever grabs my fancy, pretty much. And I will not be streaming Alien Isolation, though.
Alien Isolation free stream. And who are you? Who are you, Lamb? Who would you do?
Well, yeah.
Who's this guy?
Anyways, you should all go follow those people. But if you're on this channel, chances are you already follow this channel. But if you don't, follow me, because on Wednesday and Fridays, we do co-op streams. Last week we played Left 4 Dead 2 on both Wednesday and Friday, and it was a blast. probably something we want to do again in the future.
Somebody,
Somebody.
get out of my swamp.
Hey now. Hey now.
Donkey.
Okay.
Donkey.
Yeah, that was fun. And
Inside baseball.
If you ever want to see Elsa hack up a ton of zombies with a chainsaw, you should watch that
so
stream.
weird.
It was so weird.
That cave.
Yeah.
It was weird stuff. Anyways, otherwise, we will be. This will be back next Saturday. We'll see if these people have time again.
I'll absolutely be back.
I have
not.
absolutely no idea what the format is going to be. I haven't decided if it's going to be a rotating cast, if it's going to be some regulars, or it's all in the air right now. We'll see what happens.
I think we can all agree, though, that we got all of our Star Citizen, or not all, but most of our Star Citizen talk out this week. So next week should be, approximately an hour and a half shorter.
Well, okay. It depends. It depends on. It depends on if the FPS module comes out next week. If the FPS module comes out next week, we'll talk even more Star Citizen.
God damn it.
We might just want to do a Star Citizen podcast.
You might just split it up.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, you can follow. I need to write all my relevant links in the chat.
No.
Yep.
I don't have chat open.
No.
If you're
Get
not
chatting.
in Twitch right now and you're watching this later, they'll be under the video. I'll put all the relevant links under the video.
Alrighty.
Way. We're already getting called out for too much Star Citizen.
So you can follow me on twitter.com/LambMower, or you can follow the official Survivor TV account at Survivor_TV. You can follow the Twitch channel at Survivor_TV. You can also, under the video, if you want to support the channel, help me, for example, get an actual webcam.
Yeah, he's using a laptop right now. I don't know if you guys are aware of this.
Yeah.
This is some next
Down
level
here.
ghetto
I-
streaming tech.
I have
Scroll down.
I have a $1,000 laptop working as my webcam right now.
Get on my level, scrubs.
Ooh,
So if
HP
you want
closest.
to support me in the future, like getting an actual webcam, getting a actual microphone that's not stolen from Rock Band.
Oh, good, no way.
Yes,
it's perfect for
yes
Wonderwall.
way, yes way.
'Cause maybe you're gonna be the one that
Saves me from myself.
You can
Somebody.
you can go down there and support all the things we do. It all goes back into
Donate.
improving the channel in the future. And
donate so Lamb never plays Wonderwall ever again.
That's what I probably should get a key.
wait.
No! What have I done?
Turn it off. Turn it off.
Ah,
Let's have
it's
this
happening.
be our outro.
It's happening.
Play
accept
Freebird.
nothing.
Play
I accept
Freebird.
nothing. I accept nothing. That's the sign off right there.
Oh, yeah. Thanks everyone for watching the first episode. If you're watching on Twitch, we'll be right back with a small after show
Post show.
where
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
talk to you viewers again about
We
all
can-
the things
we
we
can-
talked about.
Decompress,
Yes.
stretch, and
For
clear our
everyone
minds with
for
Star
everyone
Citizen.
listening or watching the VOD, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.